All right, we are live basically a minute before we're scheduled to start for the game. Gunnar Henderson is being interviewed down on the sidelines by the Apple TV crew, as this is an Apple TV Friday night baseball game over in Camden Yards. Orioles wearing their City Connect jerseys, as they always do on Fridays at home. Let me make sure audio and chat is working. All right, audio is in fact working. And let me make sure, yep, chat is also working. All right, we're good. So we are getting underway between these two, orange and black. The Tigers are more orange and like dark blue. Then, yeah, so sorry, I just listened to the update. So Keegan Aiken will be the opener tonight. Last time Chris Bassett won, which was against the Angels. Or not, sorry, not the A's, the other A-themed American League West team. Yeah, Aiken was the opener for Bassett against that A's team about a week and a half ago. Not this past Sunday, but the Sunday before. So they're rolling with the opener again. Bassett's last start was against the Nationals, and that did not go well. So it'll be Keegan Aiken, the lefty reliever, will be the opener for Balmer here. Let me actually swap. Nope, that's not what I want. Don't need to bring up Hunter Hunter. I'm watching that later. Yeah. So yeah, Keegan Aiken throws four-seamer slider changeup for his three-pitch mix. Will be Kevin McGonigal, Dylan Dingler, and Josiah, I believe, Jones. Or Jahmai Jones, never mind. So let's see, where is their roster? Jahmai Jones is righty. Largely platoons against lefty pitchers here. So I think they're bit of analytical, whatever, however you want to do it. But you got lefty, righty to start out. I believe, because it should be, or no, it should be, actually no, Kevin McGonigal, lefty, then Dylan. So lefty, righty. Okay, here we go. Shifted the lineup around. First pitch from Keegan Aiken is knocked high in the air over into right field. 1-0. Detroit on the first pitch home run for Kevin McGonigal. So the opener does not work out at all. 394 just to the left of the flag gets this game. Yeah, that's been how it's been for Keegan Aiken over the past couple days. Just fastball, middle, top middle, really. A little bit top left. And he just destroys it. The Orioles have not had good fortune from much of their pitching. When it's the starters that don't pitch well, it's really like either the starters or the bullpen won't pitch well one of the two times around. This time it is Keegan Aiken putting up another rough one there. That was against the lefty too, so it's bring him in against the lefty because you're lefty matchup and whatnot. And the O's already down 1-0 on the first pitch. So Aiken is now up on an 0-2 count against Dylan Dingler, who takes outside there, ball one. So Dylan Dingler, the catcher for the Tigers, who are down on their luck, fouls that one off. Still 1-2. But Kevin McGonigal, the rookie for Detroit, who is off to a really good start, honestly. I mean, he's hitting 290. Pretty good, not gonna lie. That one is taken in for ball 2. So I don't know how long Keegan Aiken's gonna last in this one after that first pitch. 7th pitch now in the game on the 2-2 to Dingler. Swung on a miss. Strike 3. There we go. Good bounce back. Dingler goes down. Brings up Jahmai Jones, the designated hitter. Hitting just 172. Bit chilly over there in Baltimore. Been a very gray, rainy day in central Maryland, as I can report, the meteorologist here. This one is swung on a miss on a fastball by Jahmai Jones. Lot of fastballs so far from Aiken, from the looks of things. That is his most used pitch. That looked like a changeup. That was below the zone for ball 1. Tigers and Orioles, both teams on long losing streaks. Well, Orioles on a 3-game losing streak. I think Tigers are on a 6-game losing streak. That pitch is taken. Nice changeup there for strike 2. Right at the bottom of the zone. But yeah, Tigers, they got swept by their division rival Guardians. There is a strikeout of Jahmai Jones, who goes fishing after either a slider or a changeup, one of the two. So a home run, strikeout for Aiken so far. But yeah, the Tigers lost 4 in a row to the Guardians, as well as 2 more before that, whereas the Orioles lost 3 in a row to the Rays, their own division rival. So both teams struggling here. There's a nice pitch for strike 1 right at the bottom right corner. Again, also looked kind of like a changeup a little bit. Didn't look like a full-on fastball there, but not enough movement for the slider either. Next pitch is high. Green swings through it. That was up by his face almost, but Riley Green could not hold up on the swing. So it is a quick 0-2 count. I think Aiken's probably a little upset after his first pitch got knocked for a homer. But that was fastball up kind of by the hands. There's a slider that's yanked a little bit. Ball 1, so 1-2 count to Riley Green. Lefty batter against the lefty pitcher. The 1-2 here is, challenge that, man. That's strike 3. Atley is not a very aggressive challenger, but that was well within the zone on a changeup. So 2-2 instead. This one is knocked foul on a fastball. And it might have been a slider on that last pitch, but I think it was a changeup. Similar velocities. Doesn't look like he has a ton of movement on his slider, just Keegan Aiken. 2-2 to Riley Green now is chopped foul again. Not really worried about pitch count for Aiken because he's most likely gone after this inning, as he is the opener for Chris Bassett. Unfortunately, he does give up the home run on the first pitch, but outside of that, as Craig Alvarez looks on stoically, Green will knock this one right over into the hands of Kobe Mayo at third base, who's shaded more towards the shortstop side. So that is a singular hit for the home run, is the only damage that Keegan Aiken gives up. Would have liked that to not have been the case, but oh well. Will just be the 1 run for Detroit there in the first inning. Brings up the Orioles. Taylor Ward, Gunnar Henderson, and Adley Rutschman. Ward got his second home run of the season back on Tuesday. Took me a second to remember what day of the week it is. Outside of that, though, Ward, it's been all right the past couple days. Henderson has had a couple multi-hit games recently. It's trying to claw that average back. And then Rutschman has been cooled off slightly compared to the hot couple weeks he had beforehand, but still been playing pretty well. They will be going up against their old friend, slash, I'd say more frenemy than a friend, in Jack Flaherty, former St. Louis Cardinal for a good long while, was drafted back in 2017, I believe. Let me double check that he was drafted that year. If my mouse can work in Louis Cardinal for the first long for a while for his career. No, he was drafted 2014, made his debut in 2017. That's what it was. And was there from 2017 to 2023. Then during 2023, Flaherty was. I'll get to that in a sec, Kevin. Welcome back. But yeah, Flaherty was traded to Baltimore in 2023 during the deadline in July, and did not really work out well for either team. I believe the prospects that St. Louis got back, I think they got like 3 or 4 prospects, and only one of them I think is still on the team. And then obviously Flaherty did not pitch well for the Orioles whatsoever. The Orioles did not bring him back in 2024. He actually went to Detroit in 2024. Then was traded to the Dodgers during the deadline there. Played for the Dodgers in the back half of 2024. Was on the World Series team, so he does have a ring to his name, though he did not exactly pitch well in the World Series or really in the playoffs at all. Then he went back to Detroit after that, so which is where he still is. He is an 0-5 record, a 5.77 ERA. Ward swings through the first pitch for strike 1. Not been a good season so far for Jack Flaherty. So that, with how that's going, usually it'll probably mean the Orioles are going to put up like 1 hit over 6 innings. Next pitch to Ward is swung on a miss on a curveball for strike 2. Yeah, it's definitely not been great, Kevin, for the Orioles. Ben, I think Ben was speaking from the heart for all of us there during his little crash out. 0-2 to Ward is outside check swing. He does not go around, so it is ball 1. Flaherty throws a 4-seamer, slider, curveball, sinker, and changeup. Mostly that 4-seamer and slider, a little bit of the curveball as well. 1-2 to Ward is swung on a miss, strike 3 on a fastball. Ward's been striking out a little bit more as of late. Just gets overpowered there. Not a fast fastball. It's only 93 there. So it's like low 90s fastball, but Ward late to it. So Orioles gave up a home run on the first pitch of the game. We'll see Chris Bassett come in the second inning. Outside of that, it's a couple strikeouts and a ground out, or more of a soft line out. Gunnar Henderson takes ball 1 on a curveball below the zone. Either curveball or slider. I'm going to say that's a curveball, though, because Apple TV does not tell me the name of the pitch, so I'm going to have to be playing a guessing game here. But Henderson, leading the team with 10 home runs, hit another one kind of recently. Takes ball 2 on a fastball just outside. Having a down year, unfortunately, so far is Gunnar. Hopefully he can figure out how to turn things around. He's been playing a little better as of late, I will say. He knocks this one over into right field. That will be a fair ball, I think. Wow, that is over in the corner. Fair ball for Gunnar. That is a double for Gunnar Henderson, so kind of will it into existence there. I thought that was going to be foul. It was going right towards the corner in right field, but that was knocked well and fair. Gunnar is on with a runner in scoring position for the Orioles for Adley Rutschman. 1 on, 1 out. Looked like that was another fastball inside part of the zone. Gunnar Henderson just muscles that one out. Not very high, but in the right place. I think Gunnar initially thought it was foul. It was real close to the foul pole. And yeah, that is a good sign. He's definitely, Gunnar's had seeing the ball better. He's had a couple multi-hit games. It still hasn't, I feel like he's not quite to the level that we expect, but he's been getting better. That is inside called strike 1. Adley's going to challenge this, actually. So interesting. Adley did not challenge a pitch when he was catching in the top of the inning. That was a strike. This one does look like it was a ball. Oh, no. Wow, that just barely clips the zone. So Orioles lose challenge early. Looked like a ball initially, but it was a strike. So Adley loses the challenge there. That is unfortunate because it's bottom of the first. Not exactly a high leverage count, but that was a little inside. So 0-1 to Adley, and that one's for sure outside. Ball 2 or ball 1. Well, it should. I guess now it is. I guess it was a strike. So 1-1. So Adley hitting pretty well to 266. Grounds this one foul over way by the first base dugout. 7 home runs. Been one of the brighter spots for the Orioles. Honestly, the catching position as a whole has been a brighter spot for the Orioles so far this season. Gunnar Henderson lingering on second base. Adley in a 1-2 hole at the moment. One out here. Adley will knock this one foul. Got a lot of contact on that one, just a little late. But it has been collecting a ton of RBIs since April 21st when he came off the injured list. He's one of the league leaders or American League leaders in RBI. Actually, no, it's just league leaders in general. That was both. Takes ball 2 there on a slider / curveball, whatever you want to call it. Breaking ball. That's go with that. In the dirt. I think that one might have been a slider, I think. Again, Apple TV does not show the name of the pitch, unfortunately. Despite, all the technology they have, they don't want to show the name. So I will do my best to name these pitches. So 2-2 now for Adley. Next pitch is knocked high in the air. Center field. That will stay in the park, though. Caught by the center fielder, Perez. Gunnar Henderson will at least advance to third. So he is 90 feet away from tying the game up, as Adley has a productive out, but an out nonetheless. So that was, Wenceal Perez, the 9-hitter for, listed as the 9-hitter there. He is the 6-hitter, actually, today. But he makes the out there, brings up Pete Alonso. Did have a solo home run in Wednesday's game. The very, very painful to watch Wednesday game against the Rays. And just the awful series to watch there. Alonso takes strike 1 on a fastball in the zone. I'd be okay with a homer here. Just would like a hit. Alonso's been getting a little better as of late. Does have 21 extra base hits, which leads the team. 9 home runs, 28 RBIs. So anything past the infield here will tie the game up, though Alonso does strike out a good bit. He will knock this one foul on a looper. Looked like a curveball there. Apple TV loves their probability little score bugs. So Alonso has a 15% RBI probability. He's in an 0-2 hole at the moment. They're showing the Tigers are injuries. Includes Javi Baez, Gleyber Torres, Kerry Carpenter, Ty Madden, Parker Meadows, Tarek Skubal. That's the big one. Jackson Jobe, Troy Melton, and more. So Tigers and Orioles, both teams dealing with a lot of injuries this season. Alonso knocks this one foul on a fastball. It's got a little under that from the looks of it. But yeah, neither of these teams wanting to be where they are at the moment. Both of them last in their division. Tigers 20-31, Orioles 21-29. Orioles looking to tie the game up here. Alonso in the 0-2 hole against Jack Flaherty, the former Oriole, takes ball 1 on a slider in the dirt. I'm going to say that's a slider because it looks a bit more aggressive on the break than the curveball, because I feel like curveballs usually tend to be a bit loopier. That one has a bit more aggressive drop to it, is the best thing I could say. Detroit's defense very much shaded to the pull side. Alonso, the right-handed hitter. In the 1-2 count here, he will knock this one foul on. That looked like maybe another slider that hung up a little bit. Could have been, I don't think it was a sinker. Yeah, sinker and changeup he doesn't throw. I'm going to say that was a slider as well, but it hung up a little bit. Definitely not a fastball. Alonso is battling here against Flaherty. Has fouled off a couple pitches. 18 pitches deep now for Jack, who has Gunnar Henderson on third base. 2 outs, though. Alonso takes ball 2 on a slider in the dirt. Dylan Dingler looks back Gunnar Henderson with a good block. Alonso hitting just .228 on the season, but has definitely looked better this month than I'd say the last month. See Chris Bassett in the top of the second inning when that eventually happens. Keegan Aiken opened this game. Showed the bullpen there. Alonso on the 1-2 now. He takes strike 3. He's going to challenge. And then he's moved to challenge. And I guess was a little too late. He thought it was outside. Interesting. So I guess they're not going to give him the challenge. Probably was a strike. So Alonso strikes out looking there to strand Gunnar at third base. A little weird there, since Alonso moved to tap his helmet, then kind of like hunched down. I guess to stop himself, because the Orioles are down to 1 challenge after Adley lost 1 earlier in this inning. So there's instead a runner stranded on third, which has kind of been how the Orioles have been playing a lot as of late, stranding a lot of runners. So if Flaherty gets out of the inning there. It's a really good pitch. It's a fastball located right at the bottom left corner. Not much you can do there. Just kind of hope the call goes in your favor because it probably was a strike. And I think Alonso is probably wise to not challenge it, since it also was not a full count. It was just a 2-2 count. So it was a little dicey, essentially. But yeah, it's just, I mean, I hate to always harp on the bad luck the Orioles have, but that's just more really bad luck. I mean, it's a really good pitch. And luckily the Orioles do at least maintain one challenge, but that's just, sometimes you can't do much about it, and just have to go back to the dugout. So it will be Spencer Torkelson, Wensiel Perez, and Zach McKinstry up to bat against Chris Bassett, because I don't think they're going to keep Keegan Aiken in there. Opener usually shows up for one inning. But, I mean, last time Bassett had an opener in front of him, he went 6 innings and 1 hit against the A's back on a week and a half ago on Sunday. So we'll see if that can continue. We'll say Detroit's lineup, outside of Riley Green, not batting all that well, according to the numbers at least. I mean, Torkelson, Perez, and McKinstry, then Workman and Jones all batting under 200. Lee at exactly 100. It's certainly not like Tigers' offense has fallen off a cliff as of late. Obviously, they're missing guys like Gleyber Torres and Javi Baez, but I mean, Torkelson had a good season last year and not so far this year. And Torkelson, obviously, a big piece that the Tigers are hoping to take the next step. And it looked like he was, but right now he hasn't been too much. Outside of Riley Green, not that much to offer. Chris Bassett, 3-3 on the season, 5.44 ERA, but he's been pitching better. I mean, the one against Nationals last start wasn't great. There was a strike one to Torkelson. Yeah, exactly. So who knows? The Tigers offense could really pop off. So it could be bad here. Could be good. Who knows? I choose to look at the positives as Torkelson grounds this one to Gunnar Henderson for out number 1. There's good work from Bassett. And I mean, last time Bassett pitched at home, it was good. He's obviously, Orioles starters as a whole got off to a really bad start this season. They're pitching as a team, really outside of Trevor Rogers, unfortunately, who is, I don't know what's going on with him. But mostly everyone else has been pitching better as of late. Bradish, especially. Shane Baz has been pitching pretty well in his last couple starts, even if the record hasn't really shown it. There is a ball that is just outside on, looked like a 2-seamer, or maybe a sinker. Bassett throws a lot of pitches: sinker, curveball, cutter, sweeper, changeup, 4-seamer. That's just listed on Baseball Savant, and I'm pretty sure more. There is a fastball 4-seamer from the looks of it that was knocked over to second base. Clean work there from Jackson Holliday, who was returned to the Orioles lineup. But yeah, I mean, even Brandon Young's been pitching all right in the 5 spot. It's really just Trevor Rogers at the top of the order that is fallen off a cliff. Well, not even just a cliff, fallen off the Grand Canyon as of late. No idea what's going on with him. Like, it's, for whatever reason, when he gets to 2 outs, and especially 2 outs and 2 strikes in an inning, he just turns into batting practice. But luckily, Trevor Rogers is not pitching today. It is instead Chris Bassett who yanks that one well inside for ball 1 to Zach McKinstry. But yeah, we'll see. And also, yeah, Jackson Holliday, who made that play for the second out. He's back after the hamate bone injury. There's a curveball that is foul tipped for strike 1. But Holliday, who broke a hamate bone in his right hand, and then had surgery to remove it very early on in spring training. This is his 3rd game back of the 2026 season. There's a grounder to Gunnar Henderson, shaded right behind the second base bag. So a quick 1-2-3 inning for Chris Bassett. Just 7 pitches to get the 5, 6, and 7 hitters for Detroit. So we like that a lot. We'll bring up Samuel Basayo, Leody Taveras, and Colton Cowser. Basayo, who's been having a very nice season for the O's as a whole, hitting .277. Taveras also having a nice season overall for the Orioles as sort of a fill-in type of guy who's taken the reins and run with it. And then Cowser, I mean, the 183 kind of tells a lot of it, but, or 186, sorry, I was actually looking at Kobe Mayo's average right below him. I also realized this is not updated. But yeah, there we go. But I mean, Cowser did have his first home run of the season against the Nationals. So I mean, if he can just get more playing time and just look a little better, maybe we'll see. I choose to believe in the positives, but with Cowser and Mayo right behind him as well, there's not a lot this season, unfortunately. I mean, I'm more confident, honestly, right now in Kobe Mayo than Colton Cowser, but we'll see. We certainly love for that to change. And then should Kobe Mayo reach base in this inning, which would be really cool to see, because that would mean the Orioles are hitting well. It would bring up Jackson Holliday, who does not have a hit yet in his I think he only has like 7 at most at bats in this one. So, or in this season. So it's like not super surprising that he doesn't have an ERA yet, or not an ERA, and batting average. But he's been making some good plays defensively in his few appearances so far. We've seen him, I think, for 1 inning so far at third base. It's been kind of one of the many little pieces of drama for the Orioles early on in the season is Jackson Holliday potentially moving to third base, at least for a decent bit, given Kobe Mayo's struggles and the lack of Jordan Westberg. I guess whoever's in charge of that, whether it be Mike Elias or Craig Albernaz or some combination of the two and someone else, they don't really want to move Gunnar Henderson over to third base. Although I think he would be okay over there, and I'd be okay with Holliday at shortstop. But I don't think Henderson's getting moved at all from shortstop anytime soon. So, I mean, right now it is Kobe Mayo, but we might see more of Holliday at third base in the future. Apple's showing Kevin McGonigal, the home run hitter, on the first pitch of the game for the Tigers. They're very good rookie, one of the many in line for Rookie of the Year for the American League. Basayo takes all the way on ball 1 on a good fastball from Jack Flaherty. Forgot his name for some reason. But yeah, Flaherty throws fastball inside of the zone there, inside part of the zone for strike 1. So next pitch to the big lefty in Basayo is chopped foul behind or at the plate on a slider. Actually, that might have been a curveball. So quick 0-2 hole for Basayo. Who does strike out a decent bit, but also has a ton of power under him. Next pitch is high, swing and a miss, strike 3. Basayo chases a high fastball for strike 3. So 3 pitches, 3 strikes, 1 out for Flaherty against his old team here to start the second inning. The fastball is working for Flaherty, who gets his 3rd strikeout of the night. All 3 of them on that fastball. 2 swinging, 1 looking. Brings up Leody Taveras. And I can see now that the box score is good a bit ahead as Taveras knocks the first pitch over into right field. Good pull power there. He's going to get to second base pretty easily. Throw is well wide from the right fielder McKinstry. So I think because this is on Apple TV and I do not, I'll just say I don't have regular access to Apple TV. So my TV stream is going to be a bit more behind than usual. That is another fastball just right in the middle of the zone. Taveras gets some good contact on that one there. Would just love some contact on the baseball, Doesn't need to be a ton of power. Just would love some contact. Be more like the Rays. They hit for a lot of contact and they, hit pretty well. Brings up Colton Cowser, who is, much maligned season right now. Takes strike 1 on looked like maybe a changeup or something. Not sure what that pitch was. Might have been a changeup. Or a slider. Could have been a slider there for strike 1. Might have been a little outside, though. Cowser swings through a curveball there for strike 2. That one was definitely a curveball. So quick 0-2 hole again here for an Orioles batter. Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of the Apple TV's broadcast either. I don't mind their graphics too much. I would. There's some parts that I would miss as Cowser swings through a fastball above the zone for strike 3. Foul tips it. So 4th strikeout already for Flaherty. Yeah, Kevin, I don't blame you for listening to the radio broadcast. And the fastball is working very well for Flaherty tonight, which is kind of as expected. You know, the Orioles don't get a lot of hits, and they strike out a ton against pitchers who are having a bad season. Kobe Mayo's up to bat. He will look at first pitch strike on a curveball that is probably a little below the zone, but the Orioles down to one challenge left. Not going to risk it there. So the strike zone is a little expanded tonight, at least for Flaherty, which is unfortunate. Mayo, that one is well below zone on a curveball for ball one. So yeah, that is 78. Yeah, that's definitely the curveball. Slider's a bit faster. Flaherty mostly throws the four-seamer, slider, curveball. His other pitches, not really all that often. It's been mostly the fastball and curveball, I think. There's a fastball called strike two. Oh my goodness, this umpire. Should challenge that well outside the zone, but with one challenge left, I see why you don't. Especially because Kobe Mayo has not had good fortune challenging pitches, but that one was well and truly a ball there on the fastball. Yeah, the very pitcher-friendly strike zone so far tonight. As Colton Cowser looks at the tablet to see where he went wrong. So Kobe Mayo would, in what should be a 3-0 count, swings through curveball for strike three. So double, nothing more, 3 strikeouts in the inning. Basically, Kobe Mayo struck out on 4 balls. What happened there? I mean, one of them he did actually swing at, but that was rough to watch right there. That, like, my goodness, that was rough to watch. Not really the fault of Kobe either. Like, that's just terrible umpiring. Like, you got to get a better strike zone than that. That's just awful. And it's like, of course, the one pitch that was actually in the zone that was close was the one that winds up getting challenged. So it is what it is. So going on to the bottom of the top of the third inning will be Workman, Lee, and McGonigal. Let me make sure I get the first names. Gage Workman, Hao-Yu Lee, and Kevin McGonigal. Let's see. Checking out the other scores as well just to see. Red Sox up 4-3 over the Twins. Had, I think, one game go final already. It was the Reds and Cardinals got postponed. That's what it was. Or no, it was the Astros and Cubs. Yeah, they went final. Astros won 4-2 there. Guardians, Phillies, 0-0 through 5. Rays, Yankees, 0-0 through 2. Pirates up 1-0 over the Blue Jays, like that. Mets and Marlins tied at 1, bottom of the second. Nats, Braves, 0-0, top of the third. Dodgers, Brewers, 0-0, just started. Mariners, Royals, 0-0, also just started. Let's see. I think my lineup's all good. Is Ketel Marte and Geraldo Perdomo both batting? Still is not set yet. All right. That was a terrible strike zone from the ump there. It's already 5 strikeouts for the Orioles through 2 innings. That's not good, to say the least. It's been 5 strikeouts and a flyout so far. Not the way you want to start it off, that's for sure. Yeah, Orioles Twitter is already fuming at everything, as per usual. First pitch to Workman is well outside on something that was not pitched correctly from Bassett. That's for sure. Looked like it might have been a changeup that just got well out of hand. So the 1-0 count to Workman is knocked high in the air. That is going to be off the wall, top of the wall, for a double, as Cowser has to get to it a little late. So first batter of the inning reaches for the second time out of 3. Bassett gives up his first hit of the night on a 2-pitch double for Workman. There we go. And let's see, what was your Gage Workman? That's his name. He was a Rule 5 pick from the Chicago White Sox back in 2025 by the Tigers. Brings up Hao-Yu Lee. Takes strike 1 on a good sinker from the looks of it there. was acquired in a trade. Why does it say trade Detroit? Like, it's... And what? Lee grounds this one. Oh, how is that a fair ball? Really? That's going to make it 2-0. On a ground ball over past the third base line, that is 2-0. Tigers on the ground ball double right up the third base bag. Looked like that was foul ball, but I guess it was fair. Yeah, that... I mean, I'm definitely, Devin, I'm one that is not as harsh on Elias as I think 90% of the fan base is, but I can certainly, I get it. I get it. That's just nothing you can do there on that one. Literally hopped right over the third base bag. So back-to-back doubles makes it 2-0 for the Tigers here. Brings up Kevin McDonald, takes strike one on a curveball. Kobe Mayo's not shaded towards the bag. Probably shaded more double play territory. I guess not really double play territory, but yeah, that's unfortunate there. McGonigal knocks this one high and foul, so he's in an 0-2 hole at least. Back-to-back curveballs. So McGonigal homered on the first pitch he saw to start the game. Is now in a good position to make it a 3-0 game for the Tigers, who have been hitting the ball much better than the Orioles have so far tonight. So a couple doubles here in the inning so far. This one called strike three. McGonigal's in the challenge. This is going to be really close on what looked like a changeup. Again, the wide strike zone from the umpire. This one is just inside for ball one. That's one where the Orioles probably should have been challenging those type of pitches last inning, but because of the lost challenge in the first inning, they couldn't. Well, I mean, they could, but they, a lot more defensive with their challenges with only one. This one is just high with a fastball for ball two. But again, wide strike zone from the umpire, so we might see a lot of those type of challenges here tonight. No outs here in the top of the second, or top of the third either. My box score might be a little bit ahead, just letting you know. The 2-2 to McGonigal is popped high in the air over into foul territory in left for another foul ball. So still 2-2 for McGonigal, who is, again, one of the guys that is probably in line for Rookie of the Year at the moment for the American League. Has been playing very well. Don't know if Cam Schlittler is eligible for Rookie of the Year, because I feel like he played a decent bit last year. I don't know. 2-2 McGonigal is in there, strike three. Nice little sinker, I think. Some kind of fastball. Yeah, definitely sinker for Bassett. Runs that right back into the zone for strikeout looking. His third of the night, or no, actually, not his third. Aiken had two. His first of the night, third of the inning, or third of the game for the Orioles as a whole. Brings up Dylan Dingler, who struck out his first time up against Aiken. Grounds this one basically off himself. It is foul ball. Bassett is walking over to third. He's at least pointing to first base to try and throw him out. Haven't gotten a signal yet of anything. He's walking over to Dingler to maybe tag him. Dingler's not moving anywhere, so they're calling this a fair ball, actually. So, Bassett, instead of throwing it over to first base, the runner does advance to third base, by the way, in Lee. So it looked like it hit off his leg, hit off Dylan Dingler's leg. Bassett was taken, like, basically just walked over to Dylan Dingler, who did not bother running at all. It actually kind of hit in the batter's box, so I could see that maybe. It probably also hit off. Does it hit off his foot here? Let's see. Yeah, it does. So yeah, it redirects off his foot into the field of play in the batter's box. Weird Bassett walked all the way into the batter's box to tag Dylan Dingler out personally instead of just throwing him out at first base. But I think this is gonna stand as an out. So 2 outs on the strange one there. So, all right, Mike Esterbrook, the home plate umpire, gives Chris Bassett a nice little out there. So that is a 1 unassisted on the out, I guess. I think that's how you would score it. Sure, let's go with that. Brings up pinch hitter in Cole Keith. As Jemai Jones was pinch hitting against the opener Keegan Aiken. So Cole Keith, who is the usual hitter in this area, lefty, takes ball 1 on a sinker that runs well outside. Hitting .279, no home runs, 6 RBIs, .658 OPS. Runner on third base, 2 outs. Orioles had this position or this spot in the first inning. Swings through a curveball there for strike 1. They could not convert back in the first inning. So 1-1 for Bassett. 20 pitches now through an inning and 2/3. It's given up 1 run on a pair of doubles. Does have Lee at third base. Next pitch from Bassett is chopped up into the air. Back to Bassett, who fields it cleanly. Throw over to first base is in time, just barely, for out number 3. It's a high, slow developing chopper. A little dicey, but gets the job done. So Bassett gives up a couple hits, just 1 run. Will be Holiday, Ward, and Henderson up to bat against Jack Flaherty, who already has 5 strikeouts on the night. O's looking for their first run. So, eventful inning there in the top of the 3rd. Let's make it another eventful one here in the bottom of the 3rd. Would love that. And hope my box score does not get too far ahead so it doesn't spoil me, because it is just end of the inning on the TV broadcast for me. And it looks like the box score is already ready to go to start the next inning, because it's very far ahead. And I can't even really blame Xfinity Wi-Fi for this. This is just other sources. I'll say that. I don't think I should elaborate further there. But anyway, for those watching at home or wherever you are tuning into this stream, I'd like to know how you guys are doing. If you are suffering as Orioles fans like me and Kevin are, as the Orioles are, they're 1-5 in their last 6. It's been rough, to say the least. It's been very, very rough. I would very much like a better baseball team at the moment, but I was unfortunately born an Orioles fan. I mean, I was also partially born a Red Sox fan. I will certainly not discount my heritage, so to speak. My mom's side of the family is all up from Rhode Island and that area, so I do have a bit of Red Sox blood in me, though the Red Sox not doing much better, if I'm being honest. But still can't really find a good baseball team this year, even if I include the Red Sox. But it does give me double hatred towards the rest of the AL East and the Yankees, Rays, and Blue Jays. So, anytime the Yankees lose, it is a good day for baseball. And they've lost a couple of times as of late. They lost the Blue Jays a couple times recently, which is nice. And they lost the Mets. They lost the Subway Series against the Mets, which is awesome. That the last play that they had, where Volpe and whatever, Schumann or whatever his name was, running into each other, that was really funny. Right, doing promoing F1. Assuming that's actual F1, yeah, Canadian Grand Prix, not the movie F1, the actual sport of F1. I didn't know that was on Apple TV. Yeah. All right, Jackson Holly on the first pitch takes low strike. That one probably does clip the zone on whatever you want to call that pitch, a something. Probably might have been a changeup actually. Didn't look like a fastball. This one is a fastball, swing and a miss underneath. Yeah. Yeah, Redskins, Wizards, and Orioles fan, all losers. Yeah, my dad's side of the family was Redskins and Orioles. That's where I got them. Technically, my dad was actually old enough. He was a Baltimore Colts fan back in the day. So he hates Indianapolis, or I guess hated. But yeah, Holiday takes ball 1 on a curveball. But yeah, so the only real winning team that I've seen, just in terms of football and baseball, because that's what I usually watch, is the Patriots, because the New England side of me, they obviously won a lot. Holiday on the 1-2 knocks it over into right field. That will get down for a base hit. So Holiday gets his first hit of the season. That is a hard single over into right field. Love that. On the 1-2 count as well. So that is a good sign right there. But I mean, I guess also the Capitals, because and not that I watch hockey all that much, but the Caps did win the Stanley Cup back in 2018. I did actually get to touch the Stanley Cup once. It came to my school, which is cool. Back in the day. But yeah, I'm not much of an NBA fan or really basketball fan in general. I'll watch it on occasion, but yeah, I mean the Celtics are there. I'm not much of a Celtics fan, but yeah, the Wizards obviously not exactly very fortunate. Ball one to Taylor Ward on a fastball yanked outside. So doing the I think they're in-game interview with AJ Hinch, the Tigers manager, as well. I think talking about that out on Dylan Dingler. That one is ball two on a fastball down and away as well. So Ward in a favorable count here. They're showing the replay of it. So I guess so it kind of hits his foot, but stays in the batter's box. So I guess the ruling is that it's fair. I don't know. I'll take it. So Holiday at first base gets thrown back. He is fine. Didn't look like he was trying to steal at all. 37 pitches now for Flaherty. Has a 2-run lead at the moment, though a good swing here from Ward would tie it up. But I'd take anything on base here. I'll take a walk even. Ward looks at strike one on a curveball in the zone. Took all the way there. So Ward struck out to start the game for the Orioles on a high fastball. 256 average. Has a really good on-base percentage. Ward knocks this fastball foul. 413 on-base percentage, which is kind of nuts. It's more than his slugging percentage, which is even crazier. He's only got a 375 slug. Only has 2 home runs. Really just walks, hits a couple singles, but I think he leads. I'm pretty sure he leads the American League in walks. I think he's second total in walks at the moment. He's got like 41, I'm pretty sure. Like 42. It's something crazy. The 2-2 count here. Ward will knock this one high and foul again on another fastball. They're showing the Orioles transactions now. So Blaze Alexander, Pete Alonso, Chris Bassett, Shane Baz, Zach Eflin, Ryan Helsley, Taylor Ward. Of course, Eflin and Helsley are both injured. Alexander in and out of the lineup. Ward and Alonso have been good additions. Bassett's been okay. Baz has been okay, so far at least. Ward will chop this one over to third base. That will just get foul. Would have maybe been, had it been hit harder, might have been a double play, or it might have been a single or a double maybe. But instead it's just a foul ball on the curveball. So we remain in the 2-2 count here. Still nobody out here in the bottom of the third inning. Jackson Holiday still on first base. Ward leads baseball in pitches per plate appearance, 4.51 averaging. This might also just be for the American League, because they're just showing American League batters. But yeah, Ward sees a ton of pitches. Did not see a lot in his first at-bat, but is seeing more here. A 2-2 count at the moment. He will look at ball 3 on a fastball above the zone. That was the pitch he struck out on the first inning, so he is, as per usual, in a full count. Here we go. Most plate appearances with 3-2 counts in the American League. Ward leads leads the American League with 58. Now I think this is probably his 59th. 3-2 to Ward is strike 3. That one is a strike. Hits the bottom of the zone on a fastball, so another strikeout for Ward and for Flaherty. And just Flaherty's living around the edge there. Good pitch. Ward does not swing the bat. Thought he was getting ball 4, but right at the knees for strikeout. Out number 1. Brings up Gunnar Henderson, who doubled last time he was up in his first at-bat. Certainly wouldn't mind that again. A very hard double for Gunnar. Over into right field. Swings through a slider, I think, there. Yeah, definitely a slider for strike 1. Was a 1-2 count, I believe, that Gunnar doubled on. So it's all right. But should Gunnar reach base, or really anything besides a double play, will be Adley Rutschman up to bat. Would really not like a double play. That is a fastball well high for a ball 1. Nowhere close to the zone. Not anywhere close at all. So 45 pitches now for Jack Flaherty. He's given up a couple hits, but no runs yet. Those up to 3 hits already. Couple doubles and a single. That one is a curveball taken for ball 2 below the zone. Good take there from Gunnar, who's swung at a lot of pitches outside of the zone, especially down and away so far this season. A lot of Flaherty's movement from the looks of it, though, is breaks inward to lefties. So that is, I guess, a little bit more favorable. And a favorable count is Gunnar in the 2-1. He will swing through a curveball there for strike 2. So that was another pitch out of the zone that he swings at. Henderson in another 2-strike count here against his former teammate very briefly. And Flaherty, actually, I guess Gunnar would have, that was 20, yeah, no, Gunnar was in the league, or did he? I don't think he debuted in 2023, did he? I mean, he would have been on, because I know he debuted late when he did debut. I think it might have been, I don't remember, I think it was 2022, though, was when he debuted. Holiday gets back to first base on the pickoff attempt. So that should be disengagement number 1 since it resets after every batter. So there was a pickoff attempt well earlier in this, or that during Taylor Ward's at bat, and that was very early on as well. 2-2 to Gunnar is grounded over directly to shortstop, fumbled by the shortstop in Kevin McGonigal. So both safe are Holiday and Henderson. That was a tailor-made inning-ending double play. Hit directly on a sharp grounder to McGonigal. Hopped a little bit off the mound, but McGonigal just fields it completely poorly, and that is an error on him. That was in his glove, too, and the transfer was just botched entirely, and Orioles catch a huge break there. Inning stays alive for Adley Rutschman, who flew out to center field first time up. Has a good chance here with runners in scoring position. Takes strike 1 on a fastball in the zone. So former battery mates here, again, briefly. For Rutschman and Flaherty. I think Flaherty probably knows, like a lot of guys who face the Orioles, or was formerly on the Orioles, knows that Adley likes to take first pitch. Adley will knock this next fastball foul for strike 2. So he's in an 0-2 hole. So again, anything past the infield would be nice. Anything in the infield will be major trouble. So Adley is also 1 strike away from a strikeout. Flew out to center field first time up, which advanced Gunnar to third base for Alonso, who struck out back in the first inning. Has runners on first and second now in the 0-2 hole. 1 out here in the bottom of the third. Adley looks at ball 1 on a curveball in the dirt. So Rutsch usually sees the ball pretty well. That's for sure. I mean, it certainly helps that he's a catcher, but usually a guy that sees the ball pretty well. Has had a good mix of contact and power so far this season. He's not really leaning towards the power side like he was doing the last season. See if he can get a good knock here. He will jam this one up into the infield. That is an infield fly roll in effect, so it is an out nonetheless. So not a productive out there for Adley, who is 0 for 2. Just got jammed entirely by a fastball on the inside part of the bat. That might have been a little above the zone. Like maybe a little above the zone, and Adley just gets under completely. So very soft fly out there. I guess more of a pop out. Don't know why YouTube is giving me an error here on the creator side. Dylan Dingler is chatting briefly with Jack Flaherty as Pete Alonso's up to bat. YouTube is not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming. The video is just a static image for 90% of this. I don't know what the problem. I don't know what YouTube's yelling about now. It's a static box score for most of this. So Alonso, who struck out looking last time he was up, has a chance for the Orioles, who are basically 0 for with running in scoring position. They're like 0 for 5 at this point with RISP. Looking to get that first knock to try and get the O's back in this game. Does have 9 home runs. A home run would get them the lead here. Certainly wouldn't mind that. The righty-on-righty matchup. Alonso knocks the first pitch behind home plate and foul on the fastball. The camera operators and the producers, I think, were a little confused on where that ball was going. They swapped back a little too early on the behind home plate camera view. So 0-1 count for Alonso. Again, love anything past the infield and fair. Takes ball 1 on a curveball down and away. showing RBI leader since 2022. Pete Alonso is second with 491, only behind Aaron Judge at 494. So sitting there with like Judge, Ohtani, Soto. It's a pretty good company to keep, to say the least. Let's get an RBI here. Would love that. Let's go. Let's do that. Oh, I might have just spoiled myself on what's going to happen here. I might have just spoiled myself as Alonso takes ball 2 on a fastball inside because I'm glancing over. I see the score update, so I'm going to get myself excited. Might prep a little Gary Thorne call here. So I think I know what's going to happen. To say the least, that's the problem with when stream's really delayed is that can happen, but it's all right. Makes me excited, at least. So Alonso will knock this one high over into right field, over to the flag court. Goodbye, home run. Orioles up 3-2 on the Pete Alonso Earl Weaver special. 10th home run ties Gunnar Henderson for the team lead. And the Orioles now up top as the polar bear suited Mr. Splash is going crazy with the hose, though it's probably pretty cold over there in the splash zone. So 2 outs. Alonso in the favorable count goes opposite and into the flag court there. Gives the Orioles the lead. We missed that. Yeah, that was all power. Like, no, like that was pretty sure that was up and away in the zone, like not even a strike. And he just, that's the polar bear power right there. He actually now, I guess, tied with Aaron Judge at 494 RBIs. So Basayo on the first pitch takes well outside for ball 1. Yeah, this ball is outside. This is like multiple inches. Like that is almost probably 4 or 5 inches outside the zone over left of it. And Alonso just knocks it over into the flag court. Basayo grounds it sharply to first base, fielded nicely there by Spencer Torkelson, who throws him out at first to Flaherty, but not before the Orioles take the lead on a Pete Alonso 3-run home run. Orioles with the lead for the first time tonight. We go to the top of the 4th. Should be Riley Green, Spencer Torkelson, and Wenceel Perez to bat for the Tigers. The Orioles now with some life here as Alonso doing what he was brought here to do. And that was hit dingers. He certainly hit a good dinger right there. I don't know if you ever watched The Boys, Kevin, but I've been getting a lot of, not that I watch The Boys, but I've gotten a lot of stuff on my Twitter feed about that. There's a lot of the gender swapped Homelander memes, and someone did him with the friggin' Aqua face from Konosuba bleeding. And I don't know if you're gonna get that. I don't know if you watch anime at all, but I am someone who does, and that is really funny. Give him the Aqua pouty face. All right, let's see. Let's check the out of town scoreboard again real quick. See how it's doing. Red Sox still up 4-3 over the Twins. Neither team there doing well. I mean, really, most of the teams in the American League suck right now, if I'm being honest. Most teams in the American League suck. Guardians still tied 0-0 with the Phillies. That's in the 7th inning. Rays and Yankees still tied 0 apiece. Blue Jays up 3-1 over the Pirates. Mets and Marlins still tied at 1 apiece. Nats Braves 0-0. Brewers up 4-0 over the Dodgers. I'll take that because I'm no fan of the Dodgers. Then Mariners and Royals tied 0-0. Later on, we're going to get the Rangers and Angels, Athletics and Pirates, Rockies and Diamondbacks, White Sox and Giants, and then the Cardinals and Reds got postponed till tomorrow from the looks of it. Let's see. That's just my following page. Oh, yeah. Orioles Twitter is actually going to be happy for a hot second because of the Alonso 3-run homer. It actually wasn't a solo homer, too. It's like, it's crazy. We actually get a home run with men on base. Feels like that never happens anymore. So, all right. I don't know what's, like, I'm getting a lot of movement on my computer, and I don't know why. All right. Wait, can the Diamondbacks please post their starting lineup? I need to know if Ketel Marte and Geraldo Perdomo are playing. All right, first pitch to Riley Green is taken for ball 1 on a curveball, just below the zone. So Detroit now down for the first time today. Green in the 1-0 count here takes ball 2 on a curveball just outside. Green, the best hitter for Detroit, honestly, over the past couple of years. He's been really good. Had a ground out, I believe, his first time up against Bassett. And a very favorable count here at the moment. We'll knock this one foul on, looked like a sinker. It was hung up a little bit on that sinker, but Green got under it, took a big swing at it, trying to tie the game up. Luckily, that did not happen there. So Bassett, 25th pitch coming up here as Keegan Aiken opens. So Bassett with a chance to try and go deep here. Would certainly love another deep stretch for Bassett. That one is a bit high on a sinker for ball 3. OBS disconnecting. Green knocks this one over into center field. That is a nice single there for Riley. All right, OBS is back. Don't know why it disconnected. So Tigers have the first man reach for the third time tonight. Though this time it is only a single. They had a homer, a single, and a double. So Alonso showing he was getting hugs in the dugout. I think that was before the game. But that might have been after his homer. Either way, hyping him up, obviously, after a very good at-bat there. This pitch to Torkelson is check swing fouled over towards that first base dugout where Albernaz is lurking. Alonso and Green kind of chatting it up from the looks of it. Alonso's all smiles. He seems to be a good guy, Pete. Playing at first base, Riley Green takes his lead. This pitch to Torkelson is low on, looked like either a curveball or a slider for ball 1. That was, might have been a cutter, actually. I don't know. Might have been a slider, and Bassett just barely throws it because it. And anyway, this one is a sinker knocked over into left field. That will be a fair ball ground rule double into the seats. That literally knocked on the line and bounced over into the foul ground seats. But that is a ground rule double. Second and third, nobody out here. Tigers threatening to take back the lead here quickly in the top of the fourth off the Spencer Torkelson double. And that was like a sinker that ran in, got the bat head around, and that, I think, landed on the foul line over in left field. If not, it was like really close to it. That, if not, it was maybe an inch to the right of it, but it was certainly fair. This one is strike 1 to Wensil Perez on the curveball. So yeah, it's quickly going from good to bad here. Bassett needs to find some strikeouts at the moment, or a chopper in the infield to throw home to try and get Green out. This one is knocked foul behind home plate, so quick 0-2 hole at least to Perez, who's 0 for 1. So I don't know why the box score is now not updating. I guess they're trying to process that with a ground rule double. I don't know. But yeah, it's second and third, nobody out here. 0-2 count to Wensil Perez, who's 0 for 1 on the night. Bassett with the 0-2 to Perez is in there. Strike 3, nice sinker. Strike out to looking for Bassett. Gets his 4th strikeout of the night. Really big right there. There's still no easy double play here, but that is a huge first out. Really good pitch there from Bassett. Gets the sinker working. Sinker's working well against lefties. It's the righties that has been not as good. See, is it we gonna update now? What if I refresh the page? There we go. All right. I don't know why it was frozen there. All right. This one is chopped over to first base. Throw home is not in time. So RBI fielder's choice there for Zach McKinstry. Guess it was just not hit quite hard enough. Alonso with a good throw to Rutschman, and that will tie the game up. Don't think we're going to get a challenge here. I mean, Alonso fields it cleanly, put a good throw. And yeah, it's just a little bit behind. Rutschman set up well. I mean, can't do much more than that. It's just how the play develops. So Rutschman also accidentally slaps Riley Green in the face when he's making the tag too. So still a runner on third, only 1 out. Double play is in effect now, at least. So the game is tied once more. Gage Workman, who does have a hit off of Chris Bassett, did have a double in this game already. Knocks this one high and foul on the first pitch for strike one. So Workman was the second run for the Tigers back in the previous inning. Has a chance to give the Tigers the lead once more. Orioles do struggle a lot with shutdown innings this season. This one is swung on a miss, strike two on a good fastball there from Bassett. Certainly hunting strikeout now. Ground ball also wouldn't be too bad either, because again, that is a potential double play, and that would end the inning. The fourth round pick by Detroit in 2020. So I guess they redrafted him in the Rule 5 draft. That's how. Knocks this one. Swing and a miss, actually. It sounded like he made contact, but instead is a strikeout on the curveball. So that is 2 strikeouts of the inning for Bassett. And out away from getting out of this with only 1 run given up. And yeah, just good curveball there. Workman actually swings kind of under it a little bit. He just got out in front of it too. So that is very clutch there. Lee takes strike one on a sinker that runs back in. So Hao-Yu Lee, who has the RBI double from the last inning. And an 0-1 count here. We'll look at ball one on, looked like a cutter that was yanked outside a little bit. So it will be Leody Taveras, Colton Cowser, and Kobe Mayo up to bat in the bottom of the fourth inning. Tigers 2 for 31 with runners in scoring position, according to that graphic. I don't know if that's, I think that's just like over the past couple of games. So Lee chops this one, really slow chopper over to Kobe Mayo at third base. He does not have a play, unfortunately. Just too slow on the chopper, so that is an infield single for Lee. That is run number 4. Just really unfortunate luck on these. Like, Bassett's getting the ground balls. They're just not quite fast enough. And that is a pair of RBIs there for Hao-Yu Lee in the 9 spot. Makes it 4-3. And that's just basically a bunt single almost. It's just chopped right into the ground. Kobe Mayo's shaded pretty far back, too. And just doesn't have enough time to get there for the throw. Kevin McGonigal back up to bat. Takes ball one outside. There's a home run and a strikeout tonight. So not a great start here for Bassett, who's already given up 3 runs. Unfortunately. Did get Kevin McGonigal to strike out the one time they faced each other. There is ball 2 on a curveball that loops just a little inside. So the Orioles had a lead for a moment. Now they got to bat again down. And a very favorable count here is Kevin McGonigal. 2-0 count, waving the bat around a lot. There is ball 3 just up and outside on a fastball. It looked like a sinker that was actually ball 3. Just barely missed the strike zone. So Bassett is unraveling a little bit here, unfortunately. 2 on, 2 out. 3-0 count here to McGonigal. McGonigal swings on the 3-0, lines it directly to Pete Alonso, who gets him out. So a little bit of a good break there for the Orioles, who had a couple bad breaks in the inning. So they give up 2 runs, down 1 again. Will be Taveras, Cowser, and Mayo. So some more work to do, unfortunately, for the Orioles, as we go to the bottom of the 4th inning. Taveras does have a double in this game. Mayo and Cowser both looking to get on the first time, as they both struck out in the bottom of the 2nd inning. Should it not be a 1-2-3 inning, it will be Jackson Holliday up to bat after that, who singled his first time up. And we'd certainly love to see Jackson Holliday in this inning. Then it would loop back around to the top of the order. So let's see if the O's can get some runs back here against Flaherty. Gave up the 3-run homer to Alonso. Let's see, anything else in the Twitter sphere at the moment? Not much outside of probably Orioles fans complaining about stuff as per usual. I mean, justified complaints, but, you know, complaints nonetheless that just, for me, does tend to get tiresome. But it's, I for sure get it. I'm not gonna sit here and say that everything is all good there is no Warren Bossing say and all that. No, it's yeah. The Orioles magic, it's definitely, don't know where it went, if I'm being honest. It got sucked out of the building by Texas when they won the World Series back in 2023. And I don't know. I mean, it really got sucked out of the building after that June of 2024, where they had like 60 home runs in the 1 month. Because everything's been downhill after that. I don't know why. Don't know what happened, but everything after that has just been downhill since. So hopefully, at least, the Orioles can get some back here. Because right now the Tigers don't have much magic either. They're showing a nice shot of the Inner Harbor at dusk. Right, more like twilight, dusk, whatever you want to call it. Does look really nice. Leody Taveras squares to bunt, lays down a really good bunt. Throw to first base is not in time. Leody Taveras with a bunt single there to get on base. Laid that down perfectly. A good throw there by Gage Workman at third base to try and make a play. It was really close. But Taveras just beats it out. That was a bunted perfectly. And Taveras beats out the throw by about a half a step. So Taveras halfway to the cycle now with the double and the bunt single. Good work there. Gets on base. However it works, I'll take it. There's some little magic. And Hauser squares to bunt. Goes through for strike one. It's a fastball just above the zone. Interesting. Sudden small ball explosion for the Orioles here in the bottom of the fourth. I don't know if I've ever seen Hauser square to bunt before, but just kind of misses it a little bit. Got over top of it, actually. Let's see. Does he square to bunt again? Taveras almost goes. No, he does not. He fouls this one off instead. Does Hauser on the curveball for strike two. So, bit of a odd start here to this half inning. Hauser in danger of striking out again, though. Would like him to not strike out. That would not be fun. Would like Hauser to remember how to hit a baseball again. Hauser will take inside. Back pick is not in time. Inside on the fastball. Good throw there from Dingler, but Taveras, who has been dancing a lot around first base, looking to try and manufacture a run, is back in there. So 1-2 to Hauser at the moment. 62 pitches for Jack Flaherty through 3 innings plus a couple extra. Next pitch is chopped foul. Hauser just barely gets a hold of the curveball to stay alive. Still in the 1-2 count. Just kind of clipped the top of the ball and knocked it down to the home plate. Albernaz still just giving some signals, I think, to Hauser. Holiday standing behind him in the hole. Kobe Mayo on deck. Nobody out here in the bottom of the fourth. 1-2 to Hauser. Thrower to first base is not in time to Taveras. That is, I think that's just disengagement number 1. Gunnar Henderson chatting with someone in the dugout. Can't quite tell. He is not due up for a couple batters, though. That would be nice if we saw Gunnar Henderson in this inning. That would mean good things for the Orioles. Taveras is going. Hauser swings and misses. He might have actually foul tipped it. So that is, yeah, he did foul tip it. So Hauser stays alive, just barely on the fastball by his hands. So Taveras has to go back to first base. Yeah, Hauser foul tips it off his own shin, or not shin, his own thigh. Like thigh kneecap area. Let's see, where did it hit exactly? It's right off the top of his right thigh, pretty much. That is gotta sting. He's hitting it to like the thickest part of his body, but that still does not feel good, I assume. So Hauser painfully stays alive. He did swing at ball 2, but he at least made contact there to not strike out. So Taveras did attempt to steal, does not attempt to steal here. Hauser fouls this one away again. That looked like it's not a fastball. Was it changeup? Does Flaherty throw a changeup? Yeah, that was a changeup. I guess, I mean, we do know Hauser struggles with changeup, so it makes sense that he throws one there. But that was a really not good-looking changeup that Hauser kind of gets a piece of, so he stays alive. Again, still just a 1-2 count for Colton. Tavares almost goes there. Cowser will line this one over through the right field side. That is a base hit for Colton. Tavares is going to get to third base easily. Actually, not quite as easily as I expected. That was a good throw there from McKinstry in right field, but not in time. So first and third, nobody out. Colton Cowser with a single. Love that. I think that was off a fastball too. So a sharp single through the right side. Good pull power there. Yeah, that was a fastball inside part of the zone, right over Leody Tavares' head. So he has to kind of have a slow start, but he's in third base safely. And yeah, that Orioles with runners in scoring position again. Brings up Kobe Mayo, who struck out last time he was up. Yep, this is certainly anything past the infield. Mayo takes strike one on a curveball. Takes all the way there. I wouldn't even mind a sac fly, you know? Just tie the game up again. But I mean, what I would love the most is another Earl Weaver special to make it 6-4. Mayo takes strike two on a fastball that is not strike two, but he had an exact pitch basically last inning that he also had to take. Oh, good voice crack there, but yeah. It is a fastball, bottom left corner, outside of the zone, but it is called strike two because of the wide strike zone. So quick 0-2 hole pickoff at first base is just barely not in time. That was a little close. Cowser is safe in there. But anything past the infield here. Anything at all. But Mayo, who struck out once already, is in danger of striking out here again. Cowser, after a long battle with a bunch of foul balls, Mayo takes ball one on, looked like a slider yanked well out of there by Flaherty. No chance whatsoever for that pitch being anywhere competitive. So Tigers 2 for 9 with runners in scoring position tonight. Orioles 1 for 6. Though that one hit by the Orioles was that Pete Alonso 3-run homer. Cowser's going on the steal. Mayo knocks this one over into left field and foul. So Cowser's going to have to go back to first base. Mayo just got out in front of that one a little bit. It was a good catch by the fan in the stands. Showing the replay here. So it was a really good almost catch by the fan. Barehanded catch. He does get it on the ricochet, though. He's posing for his own. Got a Carhartt hat. Probably not too many people there at the O's game tonight, I would assume. Just because it's very rainy. Or it rained a lot today. We get a balk called, actually. We got a balk on Jack Flaherty. That's going to tie the game. Cowser's going to get to second. Tavares comes home. Wow. All right. I'll take that too. So Orioles got a balked in run on Jack Flaherty. And Cowser at second. Runner still in scoring position. Mayo, I think, points it out as well. And Flaherty's like stepping off a little bit, but I think he was like, I mean, I don't know how balks work, man. I'll take it. Sure. I think it's actually starting to rain there a little bit as well in Camden. Not much, but I can see the droplets a little bit now on the stream. That's a wild pitch that gets a little bit, but Cowser does not run. So 2-2 here. Don't know if we'll see a delay. I hope not. First career balk for Jack Flaherty comes at a very inopportune time. Ties up the game. Yeah, rain is starting to actually pour down a good bit, so we might get a rain delay here. I have no idea what I'm going to do for a rain delay on stream. I might have to like switch over to just playing a game or something. Get time called by Kobe Mayo here. So, I don't know. Well, if we do have a rain delay, I will figure out what to do when we get there. Hopefully that does not happen. But, I mean, it's been raining all day pretty much. So Mayo in a 2-2 count with Cowser on second. Takes strike three on a fastball at the bottom of the zone. Another strikeout looking as Flaherty actually drops the ball in the throwback. I don't think they're going to call that as a balk there, but it is seventh strikeout for Flaherty, but the game is tied on the balk in run. And that's a lot of strikeouts low in the zone as well. I think that's like the third strikeout looking too. First pitch to Jackson Holiday is outside for ball one. Singled his first time up. Scored on the Pete Alonso 3-run homer. Love another single here as the rain falls over in Baltimore. takes strike one on a curveball. Good curveball there from Flaherty. Yeah, no one knows what a catch is in the NFL. No one knows. I don't know if anyone ever knew what a balk is, though, Kevin. Like, I feel like there's at a point people knew what a catch was, but not anymore. But yeah, I can't define what a balk is. That one is inside with the fastball for ball two. It's like, I think like the definition is that it's like you start your pitching movement, but then you stop, and then that's what the balk is. I don't know. I also got spoiled on what's going to happen here, so I'm going to get excited again. Do love the spoiler though, because I love what's going to happen. As Holiday knocks this one high over into left field, that is going to get by the foul pole and just barely fair. And it's a real, like, I don't know how you could short porch in left field for the for Camden Yards, but Holiday somehow does it. 2-run home run for Jackson Holiday makes it 6-4. So that is 3 runs in 2 innings each for the Orioles with a couple home runs. 6-4 Orioles. They get it back here. That is, like, basically knocks it right over into the foul pole, pretty much. Just Jackson Holiday on the homer. That was exciting. I knew it was going to be a home run because I saw the score. And I saw it come off the bat, and I'm like, that's not going to be a home run, right? It looks like a fly out. Because that was under it and opposite field and basically right by the 333 marker, right, like, as close as it can get, like, right over the wall. If Riley Green could have made a play on it almost. That is as close as it gets for the home run. Holiday, storming back in the league. O's certainly missed his bat and makes it 6-4 Baltimore as Ward takes ball one. Rain continues to fall there. Like, again, so you somehow short porch it in left field at Camden as Ward lines this one over into left for a base hit. I don't even know how that's possible, but I'll take it. Orioles cooking here in the bottom of the 4th. I guess the rain's helping. That is as close as it gets. Like, you can't even see it. It lodges underneath the foul pole right there in left on the homer. That is impressive. Sure, I'll take it. That is going to do it for Jack Flaherty. So Flaherty gives up 6 runs and a runner on first base as the Tigers have to go to the bullpen here. Orioles offense has come alive here, mainly due to the bottom of the order in this inning, outside of Kobe Mayo, really. But Cowser has a hit, Taveras with a hit, actually 2 hits for Taveras. Holiday with 2 for 2 with a homer. I mean, obviously Alonso with a home run as well, but this is the Orioles offense we've been missing. Maybe it is just Jackson Holiday that they were needing to do. Yeah, no, I'm never gonna try and define a balk officially either, because I feel like they just make it up as they go along. It's something to do with the pitcher's movement where they like stop start it, and I don't know. And smarter men than me, I think, still struggle with defining what a balk is. But it certainly benefited the Orioles there, and it is now a 6-4 Baltimore. It is Herder is going to be the new pitcher according to ESPN at least. Let's see, what is your first name, Mr. Herder? Because I don't know. Brant Herder. 7th round draft pick in 2021 by Detroit. Throws left. So let's see his stats. Brent Herder. All right, it wasn't Brent. It was Brant, not Brant. Brant Herder. I had a history teacher who was named Brant. That was his last name though. Is he going to show up on Baseball Savant? Baseball Savant, are you going to work? Nope, no, I don't want Braden Shoemake. That's not who I typed in. I mean, I can look at his Savant page. It's not much in there. Herder. Brant Herder. Thank you. Why was this so hard, Baseball Savant? There's a really good ground ball percentage. Throws a sinker, sweeper, changeup, and four-seamer. Baseball Savant is really not having a good time at the moment. Mostly throws the sinker and sweeper. Herder, 4-1, 3 ERA flat, 24 innings, 16 strikeouts, 11 walks. Opponents hitting 173 with a 1.04 whip in 20 games pitched for Herder. Gunnar Henderson up to bat. He is 1 for 2 on the night. Henderson has a double so far in this game. Also reached on an error. Takes strike one on a sinker there. So he is doubled, but did not reach when he doubled, but reached, or scored, I should say. Scored off the error. Henderson chops this one at plate and foul on, looked like another sinker. Pretty wide arm delivery from Herter from the left side. Very horizontal type pitching, not a vertical one. Taylor Ward, after his single, is on first. Still 1 out in this inning. Herter steps off in the 0-2 count as Ward was leaning to try and steal. Maybe. Who knows? Don't think we've seen too many stolen base attempts from Taylor Ward all that much. Still has some of his fingers taped up from getting hit in the hand a while back. Henderson takes strike 3 on a sweeper there. Really good pitch there from Herter. It's like it's starting at his body and just curls right back into the zone for strike 3. Can't do much about that except try and swing the bat. Gunnar Henderson did not swing the bat there, but that is just very, very wide, as the name implies, sweeping pitch. First strikeout number 8 for Tigers pitching. First for Herter. Flaherty had 7, but also gave up 6 runs. So he'll take that if you're the Orioles. Brings up Rutschman, who is over 2. There's a sweeper that is well outside for ball 1. Rutschman switches over to the right side of the plate due to Herter being the lefty. Rutschman with a center field flyout and an infield pop out, I believe. I think it was it was a jam shot pop out. And a 1-0 count at the moment with Ward on first base. Alonso on deck, the home run hitter. First of the 2. Rutschman grounds that one foul on a sinker, I believe. Looked like a sinker. Might have been a changeup, actually. Yeah, actually, that was a changeup from Herter. So the O's, with a couple home runs in this game, make it 6-4. Apparently, the box score is well ahead of where I'm at the moment, because I see his bases loaded there. Rutschman will knock this one over into right field. That is a base hit. That is going to be a double for Rutschman. Ward gets over to third base. So maybe the box score is just a little off. Throw home is not needed as Ward stays at third. Rutschman to second. So Rutschman with his first hit of the night makes his second and third 2 outs. Maybe they intentionally walked Pete Alonso here. Then maybe that's why his bases loaded. But Rutschman with a nice opposite field knock. A lot of opposite field hits for the Orioles tonight. Both home runs are opposite field knocks. And the double right there for Rutschman, as Alonso is intentionally walked, brings up Samuel Basallo, who is 0 for 2 on the night. Though a big swing from Basallo here would make this game incredibly fun. I'm going to look away from my screen to make sure I'm not spoiled on whatever happens here. Basallo on the first pitch takes strike 1 on a sinker there. So 0 for 2 tonight does, again, 7 home runs, 18 RBIs, 820 OPS, 273 average. A lot of power for Basallo. Big hit here could really blow this game open. The 0-1 to Basallo, though, from the lefty Herter is swung on a miss, strike 2. Looks like that might have been a changeup there. Does not have a grand slam yet in his career. Only 5 attempts, hits 400. So not too many opportunities for Big Sam, but would love a knock here. In an 0-2 hole, though. Pitch from Herter is outside for ball 1 on sinker. So O's in danger of breaking this open. Tigers trying to hang on. Ward, Rutschman, and Alonso are the base runners. 2 outs, 2 strikes, bottom of the 4th, 1 ball. Next pitch to Basallo is chopped foul at home plate, so Basallo stays alive. Just barely gets a piece of it. And that is good work there from Basallo to stay alive in the sequence. 10 pitches now for Herter, who's given up a single. Or given up a double, sorry, in this one. 1-2 to Basallo is swung on a miss. Strike 3, unfortunately. So Holiday with the home run hit does give the Orioles lead, though they do strand 3 more. But they do take the lead back. O's looking for a shutdown inning. Courtesy of Chris Bassett. Should be Dylan Dingler, I believe. Then Cole Keith and Riley Green, I believe, are the 3 batters up due for Tigers. And yeah, if Holiday comes back, hits more like that, this could be fun for the O's. Could certainly maybe not turn things all the way around, but it's definitely it's clear that you miss Jackson Holiday. Just I don't know why people were trying to write him off, because he's good. He's really good. And if have him in batting every day, you're gonna be a better team than what you were without him. So yeah, scrolling back, I'm getting like old parts of the O's Twitter feed where it's like all doom and gloom. And it's now not as much doom and gloom at the moment. Let's see, anything else? All right. Okay, we have Bleach for trailer happened, I think, in this past week since my last stream, and I'm very happy. We're getting that. I think it's July is actually when it got announced. So final season of Bleach 1,000 Year Blood Door. Or not Blood Door, 1,000 Year Blood War. That was a bad mispronunciation there. Final season 1,000 Year Blood War. I'm super psyched for that. My Twitter feed has been blessed, and I'm very happy. I'm very excited. And I'm going to see Mandalorian and Grogu on Monday. Excited for that as well. I know the reviews have not exactly been stellar, but I don't care. I'm still excited for it. All right, good. Ketel Marte and Geraldo Perdomo are both batting, so I don't need to make any more adjustments to my lineup. I had some, for fantasy baseball, just to flip around to that, I had some, going into today, I was a little curious or like concerned on what I wanted to do, because I had Alec Burleson and JJ Weatherholt were originally in my lineup, and I think I had Liam Hicks and Andy Paez on my bench, but that St. Louis game got postponed, so it solved my issues for me. I just also have Casey Schmidt on my bench. First pitch from Bassett as I suddenly developed the hiccups of all things. Not really sure how. It's ball 1. There, Trisha Whitaker, the reporter for Apple TV, is talking about Jackson Holiday, I assume, because they have the camera on him. This is a curveball just inside on a pitch that has usually been called a strike by the home plate umpire, but it is a ball. We've just seen that being called a strike a lot. So 2-0 count here for Dylan Dingler. Should be Dylan Dingler, right? There's strike 1 on a cutter, I think, that is a little outside, but called strike 1. Yeah. I unfortunately lost my first game of fantasy baseball last week. My decision to start Trevor Rogers over Bailey Ober when Bailey Ober had 34 points actually did pretty much cost me there, as Dingler fouls this one away. Rain's still falling a decent bit, but I think it's not hard enough to call the game at all. It's just a little drizzle, just constant drizzle, but drizzle nonetheless. But yeah, I'm 6-1 now in fantasy baseball. I've seemed to do pretty good at drafting for some reason, which I'm the opposite of what I do in fantasy. There's a strikeout for Chris Bassett, gets Dingler swinging on a curveball outside of the zone, so that's a really good sequence there for Bassett to get first out of the inning. Only the second time he's done that. But I'm always really terrible at drafting in fantasy football, and I want to do better at that, but I don't know why. It's like I've been doing it for so much longer too, and I'm usually really bad at drafting for fantasy football. But I've the past 3 years that I've done fantasy baseball, I've done really good at drafting. This one is chopped by Keith over to shortstop. Good throw there by Gunnar Henderson to get Cole Keith out there for quick out number 2 for Bassett, who's up to 49 pitches. So quick 1-2. It's his first name's Cole, right? Yeah, Cole Keith. That's what I thought. That was really, really good play there by Gunnar as well for the out. Brings up Riley Green, who's 1 for 2. Is one of the run scorers for Detroit. Bassett looking for a shutdown inning here. Would certainly love that after the failure to do so last time. Gets Green to pop up out into deep center field, but in the park as Taveras fields it over in front of the bullpen for a really quick 1-2-3 inning. So I love that a lot. It's like 7 pitches, I think, at most for Bassett to get through the 2, 3, and 4 hitters. So that is clutch right there. Will be Taveras, Cowser, and Mayo. So actually the the guys that led off to start the last inning are leading off here again to start the bottom of the fifth. But I have some of the guys this year I drafted, like I drafted Andy Pages late. And I had him last year for a bit as well, but he's been legitimately one of the best players in terms of scoring for fantasy baseball. Yeah, definitely needed that for the O's there. But I had some up and down. I mean, Paul Skeens is my first pick, and he's been good overall. Had some clunkers here and there though. Ketel Marte was my second one. He's been better as of late. Rutschman's been a good pick. He was one of my Orioles picks. I also have picked up Rico Garcia too. He's been nice. I haven't dropped too many of my draft picks. I did just recently drop Jackson Merrill, unfortunately. I didn't want to because I like him. He's a Severna Park kid. I had a friend actually who played against Jackson Merrill in high school, funnily enough. And he had no idea who Jackson Merrill was too, was the funniest part. Not until after he debuted in the big leagues. But Merrill's not having a good season so far. I'm hanging on to Machado though, because I don't want to give up on Manning just yet. He was really good last year. I had him last year. He was good. I almost drafted Kyle Schwarber again because I had him first 2 years I did it, and Schwarber was always really good. He was really good last year, and he's really good again this year because has 20 home runs already. But I mean, Jackson Churio was injured for a good chunk of the season, but he's back now. My pitching's been all over the place. I picked up Jose Soriano early, and I was super happy because he's been really good. And he's been one of my mainstays. Dylan Cease was a guy I drafted as well. He's been good. And I picked up Shane McClanahan as well. He's been good. Unfortunately, as an Orioles fan, McClanahan being good is one of the many reasons why the Rays are doing well. It's just showing a kid in a poncho trying to drink up the rain. He also got he clearly ate a ton of cotton candy before that because his mouth is all blue around him. So Tavares batting from the right side knocks the first pitch foul. Brant Herter still in to pitch for the Tigers. My guess he's going to go a decent bit given that is only the fifth inning at the moment. But Tavares 2 for 2, a double and then a bunt single, which he eventually scored on after the balk. Actually, he was balked in. This one chopped over to shortstop, fielded by Kevin McGonigal, throws Tavares out at first base just barely. Tavares signaling he's safe, but it looked like the throw might have beat him by a half step. Alvarez is not going to challenge. Looks like Tyler O'Neill is going to be pinch hitting maybe for Colton Cowser here. And yeah, that was, just barely by a half step. Not even a half step, like a quarter step. Real close, but Tavares is out, so he's out for the first time tonight. Tyler O'Neill will be pinch hitting here for the Orioles. And this will be a pitching change for the Tigers, as O'Neill, in theory, is the guy that hits lefties well. Obviously, in practice, that has not been the case, but we will be Colton Cowser, who went 1 for 2. Actually, we're not going to get a pitching substitution, just a mound visit. Tyler O'Neill obviously not having a good season at all, hitting just 159, 2 home runs, 7 RBIs, 525 OPS. Is not an everyday player, but still would like to see a lot more out of him. So O'Neill, again, he was brought in to mash lefties, has not done that at all. See if he can change his fortunes around here against Brant Herter. First pitch is swung on and missed on a sweeper there. That is the pitch he throws, right? Yeah, sweeper. So O'Neill, the OPS against lefties last year was in the 970s, or it might have been with Boston, 970. Now it's Baltimore, a lot less. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, Michael Givens is nice story to tell. I feel like there's always a guy you can find. It's like, oh, this guy I played in high school. Oh, he's in the major leagues now, or in playing professional. O'Neill in the 0-2 hold takes ball 1 on changeup, maybe some pitch that didn't look great. Right, I think he's Merrill's the only one around here that's gone to the majors in the central Maryland area. There was a kid who just got drafted, Trace Mack for the Green Bay Packers, the kicker. He just got drafted as an O'Neill. Pops this one up over into shallow right field. This will be fielded by Zach McKinstry for out number 2 on the pop out. But I forget where Trace Mack went to school, but he was like similar to like Maryland, like this area, local to the O's, and he got drafted by the Packers. Ooh, yeah. I was never good enough to play. I mean, I played golf in high school, but yeah, that was interesting that Gotcha. Yeah, I'll get to that in a sec, Kevin. So it looks like Brant Hurd is actually going to have to exit this game due to some kind of injury. Being helped off by the training staff. Not sure what happened there. That's really unfortunate. So we're getting an unfortunate pitching substitution here for the Tigers, as Brant Hurter, who pitched well, gave up only 1 hit through an inning and 2/3, has to exit due to some kind of injury for concern for him. Interesting that he had to write a letter to get accepted into a high school. I assume it's a high school, or I don't know if high school or college, but that's interesting there. Like for college, I think it makes a little bit more sense because I feel like you always had to do like, I mean, I remember the college shirts. That was years ago at this point for me, and I blanked that out of my mind because it was not all that enjoyable. But if it was high school, it's a little, yeah. Oh yeah. I had to see that you said playing high school. So yeah, and letter of acceptance for high school is interesting to say the least. I was wearing a sweatshirt today because it was chilly outside. It's like this is like 85 degrees, or like got even in the 90s, I think, like 3 days ago, and now it's in like the 50s because the like cold front just showed up. Yeah, that makes sense then. For if you got a lot of college scouts there. There are not too many in this area. I mean, I feel like there's been a couple pro. I mean, obviously Jackson Merrill for this area near Camden Yards, kind of a little bit south. So let's see. They're showing the Herder injury. I don't think it's arm related. Just came off the mound hobbling a little bit, wincing as well. He's not like looking at his arms. So I don't know what it is. He's limping a little bit, is Herder. So it's not an arm injury. Obviously, still not good at all. But fortunately, Brant Herder goes down. So more injury misfortune for the Tigers. Connor Siebold in for the Tigers now. So righty pitcher. Add it to the list for the Tigers on the pitching front, including Tarek Skubal and Justin Verlander, who are injured. Siebold throws 4-seamer, changeup, slider, and cutter. 10 games, 1 win. 3.07 ERA, 14.2 innings pitched. So not a ton of usage so far. Yeah, could be like a core or lower body injury, maybe a leg injury of some sort. But sudden thrust into action for Connor Siebold, who's thrown a couple warm-up pitches, obviously, because I don't think they were expecting him to need to pitch so soon. So nobody on 2 outs will be Kobe Mayo up to bat unless we have a pinch hit, which I don't think we will. So they're showing Tarek Skubal, who I think was thrown a little bit. They're saying he might come back in the next couple weeks, maybe, or someone, I think one of the announcers said he was going to come back in a couple weeks, but I feel like it should be longer than that. I don't know. But Tigers obviously really need Skubal back if they are going to do anything, because he is obviously reigning American League Cy Young winner, one of the better pitchers in baseball, one of the best, honestly, in baseball. Shouldn't be too hard to dispute, or shouldn't be all that disputed, is that he's one of the best pitchers in baseball when he's healthy. Didn't have like the best start to this year, but Also did have the like bone spurs in his elbow or whatever it was. Don't envy whatever that sounds like, to say the least. So hopefully Scooble can come back sooner rather than later for, just fans of baseball in general. So Kobe Mayo over 2 with a couple strikeouts, looks at strike 1 on a fastball. 91 inside of the part of the zone. So might have been, was a fastball. A little slower than I think the average for Seabold. 0-1 to Mayo is knocked over into left field. That is just foul. Oh my goodness. Just foul on that pitch, Mayo. Has had a couple of those so far this season that are real close. That was hard liner, and that is foul by maybe a foot. He obviously had the big foul shot against the Nationals that was an inch away from being a home run. I think a 2-run home run that he had the bat flip on. But that was not quite as exciting as the near home run shot, but still would have been nice for his first hit. Get guys, fans huddling under their umbrellas. The Mayo in the 0-2 hold takes breaking ball that is in the dirt for ball 1. Like that was some kind of changeup or it's probably a slider. Yeah, that was a slider. That's what it was. So it's still raining a decent bit there in Camden, though not like a ton. Or well, doesn't seem all that hard. Just a lot of like soft, steady rain. Mayo in the 1-2 hole will knock this one foul on a fastball. So he stays alive. Tigers looking for a shutdown inning here to try and get their offense back on the field. Should Mayo reach, it would be the 2-for-2 hitter Jackson Holliday. But Mayo would need to reach. He takes ball 2 on a fastball below the zone. That one was well below the zone. So no bad call there by the ump. Mayo's definitely seen a couple close calls that were balls that were called strikes so far in this game, which can't imagine helps all that much with your confidence. 2-2 to Mayo is inside for ball 3 on a changeup. Should be a changeup, right? Yeah, changeup. Yeah, 4 seamers, couple sliders, and a changeup so far from Seabold. Keep almost saying Paul Sewald, but I know he is not Paul Sewald. Mayo knocks this one over right back up the middle for a base hit. Nice hit there for Kobe Mayo. Lines that fastball. I think it was a fastball, but that was directly back up the gap. Nobody shaded behind second base. I don't think even if they were going to be shaded behind second base, they would have had a chance there. Good sequence there from Kobe Mayo to get on base, bring up Jackson Holliday, who again, 2-for-2 with a home run. Last time he was up, he snuck a home run out into left field off of Jack Flaherty. Yeah, Mayo, I don't think he's going to be as bad as people expect over the next couple months. I think he's been looking a lot better. Even if batting average isn't there, and he definitely has some real bad at-bats here and there, he's looked better as of late, significantly. Holliday swung through the first pitch for strike 1, so he's an 0-1 count at the moment. But again, 2-for-2. Mayo on first base. Holliday swings under a fastball there for strike 2. So 2 fastballs he's swung underneath of. Holliday in a 0-2 hole. In danger of striking out. But has, again, hitting good tonight. Shortest home run to left field at Camden Yards in the StatCast era was Holliday's homer. And again, that was, I don't know how you short porch a homer in left, but Holliday did it. He fouls this one over into left. That will get out of play. Yeah, Kowser's definitely the first one of the actual like prospects that have options to get option back down, given his struggles. Because I mean, I think they still have Weston Wilson on the bench, but I don't think they. And like maybe they send him down at some point just because they have a lot of guys in the infield now. I don't know, but yeah, Kowser's definitely not shown much at the moment. Holliday check swing. Does he go around? No, barely. Holliday holds up his swing there on the changeup, so it's 1-2. Looks like it's raining a little bit harder now as well. Now is good. No call on the swing or non-swing. Or call on the no swing. So 1-2 for Holliday. 2 outs here. Holiday knocks this one high in the air, but shallow pop-up over into foul territory and left. That will actually get out of play. Holiday thought it was going to stay in play, but it did not. He slammed his bat, so he's going to actually have another chance here. And rain is definitely starting to pour down a little bit, so we might get a rain delay here, unfortunately. Holiday thought he was out for sure. That ball just kept on drifting. Yeah, the rain's definitely getting a little bit more now. Again, if we do go to a rain delay, I might just pull up like Minecraft or something. I don't know, or like FTL Multiverse to pass the time until either it gets called or resumes. Yeah, I mean it's bottom of the fifth at this point. Holiday knocks this one over into right field. That is not going to get out though. Directly to Zach McKinstry in right field. So that is not a 1-2-3 inning, but a shutdown inning for the Tigers. As will be Spencer Torkelson, Wensil Perez, and Zach McKinstry up to bat. Next up at the top of the sixth. Hopefully they will continue it without a delay. But yeah, I wouldn't mind them just calling it now and giving the Orioles the win through 5 innings. That would be awesome. I'd love that. I don't think it's going to happen, but that would be cool. But I just don't know quite. Let me actually look at the radar. Because I can get the radar at least for a decent bit of the area. I think my radar can extend at least to Baltimore. Let's check the weather channel, see how it's looking. So I want to see if the rain is gonna like stop or if it's just gonna keep going around there. Let's see. It's definitely all green there at the moment. Yeah, it's not stopping anytime soon. Not at all. It's the green's not going away, and it's also not going away tomorrow. There's just a lot. Oh wow, yeah. There's green from Baltimore over to like Indianapolis. So I mean, it's more going north than like directly west to east. Also, Columbus is getting hammered by a storm right now, or it's going to get hammered by a storm tonight from the looks of it. Switching briefly to meteorology with Henry the host. But yeah, no, the rain doesn't look like it's going to stop anytime soon up in Baltimore. So don't know if they're going to try and call it. Yeah, I think everyone's just ready to get through this. I know Flaherty's ready to go home. He doesn't want to be here anymore. Camden Yards is bad juju for him. As an Orioles fan, I would certainly love for them to just call it and give the O's a win here. But I mean, like I don't even know if they're gonna have a game tomorrow. They might have to postpone it because it's like the rain's gonna get worse tomorrow. It was bad. It was raining all day today. And I live decently, like an hour-ish away from Baltimore. I want to say maybe like around there, depending on traffic. So the weather in the area has been all the same, and it's been all rain all the time, and it's gonna be even more rain tomorrow. Showing, I think, picks of Earl Weaver. So we do not have a rain delay yet. Bassett's first pitch to Torkelson here to start the 6th inning is in there for strike 1. The rain is still steady. Tyler O'Neill slots over into right field. Box score is certainly... Oh, wait, no. Box score is actually not updated. There we go. Now let's update it. So Bassett in his 5th inning of work throws ball 1 to Torkelson here on looked like might have been a cutter yanked outside a little bit. 52 pitches here for Bassett through 4 innings of work, plus 2 extra pitches. So he has 50 pitches through 4 innings, gave up 3 runs, all came in 1 inning. There is ball 2 on a changeup down below the zone. Alvarez has not moved from his perch at all. He is still doing his stoic grimace. Bassett is, I think, guy who chooses his own pitch with a pitch com. Selects his pitch there with the receiver on the belt. Throws a fastball there. Gets Torkelson to pop straight up into the air over into center field. Leody Taveras finds it easily and makes out number 1. So Bassett, after that 3rd inning where it was definitely a little rough, gave up the 3 runs, he's buckled down a good bit here and has found a bit of a groove. With Theo's offense, he's actually gotten run support for once. Feels like a rarity these days, but the O's offense has given him the lead again. There is strike one on a bunt attempt by Wenceel Perez. He goes around enough. So strike one. They're talking about the O's. I think talking about analytics and Albernaz's approach. It's an 0-1 here from Bassett to Perez, who's 0-2. Takes ball one on a curveball just out and away. Close, but not close enough. Ground out and a strikeout for Wenceel. And hitting just 157. I'll get to that in a sec after this next pitch, Kevin. That is just high for ball two on a fastball. So if the season doesn't get better, do I see them possibly firing the manager? I don't know. I think if the season does, if it does continue to stink up and like the O's are really bad, have to sell the deadline and all that, this one is grounded over past the dive of Alonso at first. This is going to be at least a single, maybe a double for Perez. He will get into second base just barely. Tyler Neal's throw is just a little late. Yeah, I don't see them firing Albernaz after 1 year, even if it gets real bad. I could see them more like, if it is real bad, I could potentially see Elias going. I don't know how short of a rope he has with Rubenstein, but I just don't think that they would fire a manager after 1 year. Because I think at least for Orioles brass, they could give the excuse of injuries and whatnot, and that will actually do it for Chris Bassett. Wow, interesting. Bassett exits the game. I know it's the 6th inning, but I mean, he only threw 55 pitches, but Albernaz makes an aggressive move to the bullpen early. Actually, shown that Rico Garcia is going to pitch now. That is a very interesting decision here for Craig Albernaz. Obviously, Garcia, all-star start to the season, but has given up 4 hits over the last 3 games. After not giving up a single hit outside of a singular homer against Kansas City in the entirety before that. So we'll see how it goes here. But Rico Garcia as partial closer with Helsley down. It's obviously not going to be the closer tonight. But Rico has been the best player for the Orioles, bar none so far this season. Albernaz goes to him very early. That was really weird for a moment on Baseball Savant. I typed in Rico Garcia's name. It brought up his profile, but for some reason his profile picture was, I think, Ben Rice from the Yankees. That was really strange. I don't know why Garcia is getting brought in now. Obviously, he's struggled a little bit more as of late, but he's been good at stranding inherited runners outside of that Rays series. So this is interesting here. I mean, I could see for 7th, 8th, and 9th, Garcia, or not Garcia, Nunez and Cano. I don't think Wolfram's back yet. So this is interesting. Maybe they also pitch Garcia more than, maybe he comes back out for the 7th inning if he gets an out here. I don't know. This is a very interesting decision. Because they've already used Kittredge, or not Kittredge. They've already used Aiken, maybe use Kittredge. I think Tyler Wells pitched on Wednesday. I don't see them bringing in Dietrich Enns. I don't know. This is interesting. Very, very interesting indeed. I think the head of the grounds crew for the Orioles is showing the radar for the area. Yeah, I do not like Ben Rice either. He's really annoying. But it is, in fact, Rico Garcia on to pitch here in the top of the 6th inning. 1 out here. Man on second. First pitch is check swing. He goes around, does Zach McKinstry for strike 1 on the curveball. 3 wins for Rico Garcia. 0.87 ERA through 20.2 innings. 25 strikeouts, 7 walks. Opponents hitting 70.076. And a good pitch to McKinstry. Gets the next one to pop up to Gunnar Henderson at short. So 2 pitches, 1 out for Rico here to get out number 2. Was a 30th round draft pick by Colorado in 2018. Missed 2021 season due to Tommy John. 7-time free agent, 4-time waiver claim was Rico. Was in and out of the Orioles system even before he came back last year in the fall. Yeah, I could certainly see Rico going more than just the sixth here. Swing and a miss by Grant Workman or Gage Workman for strike one. Interesting bullpen management here from Alvarez. Next pitch is in the dirt for ball one. Good pick by Rutschman to prevent the runner from advancing to third base in Wensiel Perez. But Garcia has been one of the best relievers in baseball so far this season, though ran into a huge speed bump in Tampa Bay, as did the entire team. So we'll see if he can get back on track here against Detroit. 1-1-2 Workman is in there. Strike two. Good curveball there. Get a challenge from Workman, actually. This one should stand, I believe. No, actually, that is just a little outside. Never mind. So that is a successful challenge for Workman. So it is a 2-1 count instead of a 1-2. Looked like it might have clipped the zone, but I don't know. I'll blame it on the Apple TV graphics. Let's go with that. So Garcia, who was born in Hawaii, I believe. A 2-1 count here against Workman, throws a ball outside for ball three. That was a changeup, I believe, outside. Yeah, O's definitely need to get back on the winning track. They're winning here, but a bit dicey in this inning right now. 3-1 count to Workman is knocked foul on a curveball for ball two. Or sorry, for strike two, not ball two. Too many balls in my mind right now. That did not come out right. A little tired. I think that was a curveball, not a slider. Similar movement. Bad. Full count here for Gage Workman. 2 outs here. Top of the sixth. Runner at second. Strike three. Nice on the changeup from the looks of it for Rico Garcia. So he does what he usually does in stranding inherited runners. I think that Tampa Bay series is just an anomaly as per usual, or as per expected. So the rare swing and miss actually generated by Rico Garcia gets Gage Workman out, prevents the run. And we go to the bottom of the sixth. O's still up 6-4. So it should be Ward, Henderson, and Rutschman, I believe, the top of the order. Top of the order. Their fourth time around. Ward with a hit. All three of them 1 for 3 on the day. Ward with a couple strikeouts. Henderson with a strikeout as well. Rutschman with a double. He got stranded. Henderson with a double. He got stranded at that point, but also had the error that he reached and scored on the Alonso homer. Alonso, who is 1 for 2 with an intentional walk. He would be up to bat should not be a 1-2-3 inning. So yeah, we'll see. I like how the Orioles are playing tonight. They look better tonight. I mean, obviously they're playing a much worse team than the Tampa Bay Rays, but I like the approach a bit better, especially like at the plate. It feels a bit better, and it certainly helps having Holiday back. Let's see. Oh yeah, let's go check the scoreboard because I haven't checked that in a bit. See, are the Yankees losing? Please tell me they're losing. The Red Sox are losing. They're down 7-6 against the Twins. The Yankees are losing 3-1 over the Rays. So I don't like the Rays at all, but I'll take them over the Yankees any day of the week. They are doing their usual, scoring late in the game to rip your heart out. They scored 3 in the 8th, and they have more on base. So I'll take that. Blue Jays up 3-1 over the Pirates. Would love the Pirates to come back there. The Marlins are up 2-1 over the Mets. Nats and Braves are tied at 2 apiece. Brewers up 5-0 over the Dodgers. Mariners and Royals still scoreless. Guardians won 1-0 over the Phillies. Is that extra? No, they just won. Kyle Manzardo pinch hit home run in the 9th got them the win there. Then yeah, that's it. So I will take any sort of Yankees loss, no matter who it's against. Yankees losing is always good. So, like the Tigers still have they're showing the odds to win the AL Central, despite the Tigers abysmal record, they're still third in betting odds to win the AL Central at the moment because the AL Central is just that bad. I mean, the Guardians are good. I think they're the favorite to win. Yeah, Garrett Cole's back for the Yankees, so I guess this was his first start, and he didn't give up any runs, I guess, unless he went to the 8th inning. But anyway, first pitch to Ward is outside. Let's see, Garrett Cole. Let's see. Next pitch to Ward is just low on the fastball for ball 2. Yeah. I think it's spelled Gerit, I think. Yeah, okay. Let's see. He went. Next pitch is strike 1 on some kind of pitch that I wasn't paying attention to. I think it was a fastball. 6 innings, 2 hits, 3 walks, 2 strikeouts, no runs for Garrett Cole. Because yeah, the Rays scored all their runs in the 8th inning. Who's pitching? Oh, it's still Seabold for the for the Tigers. 2-1 to Ward is low for ball 3 on a sweeper, I think, or a slider, one of the two. Yeah, slider, not a sweeper. So yeah, the Yankees they have a very deep rotation even with the injuries because Max Fried, Ryan Weathers, there's strike 2. Ward looks at a fastball. I don't know why he's looking at a fastball directly in the middle of the zone. Like that's the one you got to swing at, man. But yeah, they have Will Warren, obviously Ryan Weathers, Garrett Cole, Carlos Rodon, Cam Schlittler. They have a really deep rotation though. I know Fried's on the injured list. I think Weathers is as well. So it's they have good pitching, unfortunately. 3-2 to Ward is jammed shot up into not even past the infield. That is out number 1. Caught there by the first baseman, Torkelson. So we'll bring Gunnar, who again is 1 for 3. Showing 10 plus games below 500 teams to reach the postseason. So it's talking more. I mean, honestly, it kind of fits for both these teams, but especially Tigers, who are 11 games under 500 at the moment. Against it's a little early in the season, but it's getting more towards the grind. Strike 1 to Gunnar on a fastball at the bottom right corner. But I mean, with how terrible the American League is at the moment, you don't need a good winning record to at least make it in the playoffs at the moment. We get a challenge here from the looks of it on a ball that was well outside. This is not going to be overturned. This is a strange challenge. This ball is nowhere close. Like, nowhere close. I don't know what Dingler is thinking here. This is 3 full inches off the plate. That was correctly called a ball. So I don't know what was going on there. Some interesting challenges. Henderson grounds one over just fair, I think. No, just foul. That looked like it was fair, but I guess not. Would have been the second double of the night for Gunnar. Basically the same spot, but just foul. The rain is definitely pouring on a little bit there in Baltimore. Getting those new City Connects absolutely drenched. So instead it is merely just a 1-2 count for Gunnar. Apple TV says he has a 23% chance to reach base. Or the probability, essentially, is to reach base probability is 23%. I have no idea how they calculate that. No idea. Henderson knocks this one foul on fastball over the opposite direction, so he stays alive. But I mean, I have to imagine it's like expected. They use a lot of those advanced like sabermetrics and stuff, but it's I don't know. I don't understand how they can put a number up there. Henderson knocks this one foul again. That fastball was just at the bottom of the zone. Too many math nerds for my brain to handle in baseball. I just like to think C-ball, hit ball, or something like that. Analytics are above my pay grade. Yeah, let me make sure that is updated. There we go. Have box score get up to date. Henderson will take ball 2 on something in the dirt. Did not look good. Slider, I think. Yeah, slider in the dirt for Gunnar. So he's worked himself back into the count, at least. on the 2-2 from Seabold. Henderson taps this one over to shortstop. Throw from McGonigal is offline a little bit, pulls the first baseman Torkelson off the bag, so that is an infield single for Gunnar on the tapper there. He reaches base for the second time tonight. Actually, third time tonight. Second hit of the night. Brings up Adley Rutschman, who hits a lot better at home than he does at road, according to the statistics. Hits .333 at home, only .197 on the road. 5 home runs to 2. 17, I think, RBIs to 6, I think is what it said. I don't know, it went away before I could finish reading it. But Adley from the left side takes ball 1 on a slider, I think, below the zone. Yeah, I'll certainly take the infield singles if they work. Yeah, that was a slider. Okay. Interesting that the slider is faster than the changeup by a little bit. So Gunnar on first base. Adley will take ball 2 on a fastball above the zone. Again, Seabold probably going to go a decent bit here as he was, came in to replace the injured long man in Brant Herter, who I think was originally supposed to be the long man after Jack Flaherty got taken out after 3 1/3. But now it is Seabold, who is pitched through 2/3 of an inning right now. Rutschman takes ball 3 on a slider by his knees. So he is in a 3-0 count. The Tigers, one of the bench coaches on the phone with the bullpen. So he might get another bullpen, another pitching substitution here sooner rather than later. Rutschman on the 3-0 takes all the way for strike 1. Was not expecting him to swing at that ever. I don't know if I've ever seen. I feel like Adley's probably swung at a 3-0 like once or twice, but he's like almost never a guy who does that. Usually a pretty patient hitter is Adley. Still in a very favorable count here in the 3-1. Throw at first base is not in time. I think Gunnar Henderson probably has some PTSD from getting picked off by an AL Central team. He got picked off twice by the Royals back earlier this season at first base. Obviously, he also had the getting picked off in the wild card game against the divisional ALDS against the Rangers back. Rutschman pops this one up and foul. There's not a lot of people in the stands there. Probably some more like under the concourse and all that. But yeah, not too many people out there that are braving the elements, and I do not blame them. Probably better things you can do than on a Friday night than spend it watching the Orioles Tigers in mid-May on a rainy day. That's when it's like 50 out. It's not exactly the nicest day outside. But I respect those who are there. Not shaming them at all, but that is brave there. Adley grounds this one through the right side for a base hit. Gunnar's going to get to third easily. Adley with a 3-2 single was basically right under the glove of the second baseman, Lee. Howie Lee. Or Howie Lee, I think is what it is. But Adley with a nice flat swing there just gets the grounder. So first and third, 1 out here. O's looking to add some more runs, which I feel like has not happened all that much. Like O's with a chance to just add on to a lead that isn't like, super huge. Howie Lee. So Pete Alonso up to bat. 1 for 2. 3-run home run with a chance to do it again. Was also intentionally walked. I need more water. I don't think they're going to try and intentionally walk Alonso here because there's only 1 out. But he's now tied for the lead in RBIs with Aaron Judge since 2022. Matt Olson, Kyle Schwarber, Shohei Ohtani also on that list. Kyle Finnegan warming for the Tigers in the bullpen. 32 pitches for Seabold in relief. 1 out here. Runners on first and third. Orioles up 2, looking to add more with Pete Alonso at the plate. Last time he got to swing the bat, it was a home run. That was a little while ago. His next swing is a swing and a miss on the slider for strike 1. He's hits double-digit home runs, does Pete, in this game. Wouldn't mind another knock here to try and add another run or two. In a 1-0-1 hole at the moment, though. He will knock this one high in the air, out into left field. That is going to stay in the park. Riley Green fields it, catches it, but this will be a sac fly for Pete Alonso as Gunnar Henderson races home. Throw is into second base to hold Adley at first, but that is another RBI for Pete. Takes the sole possession there at 495 since 2022. And Orioles now up 7-4. They extend their lead to 3. This looked like a slider, maybe a changeup. I think it was a slider that just kind of hung up a little bit. Alonso got well under it to advance it well past the infield. Brings up Samuel Basayo. As we're going to get Kyle Finnegan to pitch for Detroit. The O's get the run in at third base. I certainly love that, even if it was a sac fly, but it's better than nothing. Kyle Finnegan. I've heard that name before a bunch. I'm curious, like, who else did he play for? Let's see. Finnegan he played for the Nationals. Okay. From 2020 to 2025. Then was on the Tigers also in 2025 to now. Though he was drafted by the Athletics in the 6th round in 2013. And then eventually never got to the majors with Oakland. So he signed with the Nats. And why did he have a... Hang on. One moment here. Oh, it's just because when I'm like searching up and it's like trying to process in the search bar, the names are all messed up because it was showing someone who was not Shohei Ohtani, but it had Shohei Ohtani's profile picture. So it's just Baseball Savant being a little weird. But yeah, this is certainly good spot for the O's here. And they get another run. Basayo is 0 for 3, but certainly a chance to try and extend the inning. So Finnegan, let's see, stat-wise, 1-0 on the season with a 1.59 ERA, 22 games pitched. He's one of the higher leverage relievers. We had more Yankees defensive errors. That is awesome to see. That's why they gave up 3, or at least gave up 2. Tim Hill, from the looks of it. I think it's Tim Hill, right? Yeah. Oh, yeah, because that is like really old man Tim Hill had a ball go off his glove and then over Junior Caballero's glove. Or, no, Jose Caballero. Never mind. Yeah. Anyway, I'll take the Rays over the Yankees. I'm okay with that. So Finnegan, the righty, against Basayo, the lefty. Basayo 0 for 3. Rutschman at first base after his single. First pitch is above the zone with a fastball for ball 1. Finnegan, a 3-pitch mix, 4-seamer, splitter, and slider. Does not throw the slider to lefties, so it's just going to be the 4-seamer and splitter to Basayo here. There's a splitter there for ball 1. Pretty sure that was a splitter, right? Yeah. So I'm assuming the slider breaks arms, or breaks to the lefties. So yeah, that was probably a splitter. 2-0 for Basayo here. He will look at strike 1 on a fastball at the bottom left corner. That was a good pitch. Besides challenging this one, he's going to lose this, unfortunately. So both catchers will burn a challenge on while they're batting. This one was a lot more egregious, or in the sense, like, don't know why Basayo's challenged that one. That was well in the zone, unfortunately. The Adley one I got, like, at least in terms of location, because that was close. That one was not close at all to being a ball, unfortunately. So the Orioles are out of challenges now. That one is inside, called a strike. That is the one you want the challenge for, because that one was a ball. Basayo's not happy about it. That's what happens when you burn a challenge on a pitch that is well inside the zone. So Basayo is talking with the ump. He's taking his time. Basayo not exactly happy about that call, but kind of put yourself in that situation yourself there, buddy. I love Sam, but that was not a good challenge, unfortunately. 2-2 to Basayo now is knocked over into left field and foul. So we go again. Rain is still steady there. But again, not hard enough to warrant a delay from the looks of things. Or even really seem to mess up the guys all that much. Just some soft showers. Tutu Basayo here is knocked over right back to the shortstop, McGonigal. Hard liner right over the head of Finnegan. But McGonigal shaded perfectly for that one. Basically behind the second base bag. Fields it on a hop, steps on second base for the out. So that is the end of the inning, but the Orioles do, in fact, get one. So it is 7-4 now, Orioles. See if it is still Rico Garcia on to pitch or if it will be someone else for the Orioles. I have no idea. Like, maybe they... I mean, my guess at this rate is... Yenyer... Well, I don't know if they're going to have Cano or Nunez close out. Because otherwise... I mean, maybe they put in Dietrich Enns. Or I don't know if they'll do Kittredge. But it's like some combination of Nunez and Cano are going to pitch at least 2 of these last 3 innings, I assume. I don't know if Rico Garcia is going to stay out to pitch. Or if it's going to be someone else. Just don't really know, because you have Kittredge, Enns, maybe Tyler Wells as well are the others in the bullpen, and also Albert Suarez, but no way Albert Suarez pitches here. He's your low leverage / long relief type of guy. So, I don't know. It's back to the question of the bullpen. It's very interesting. Oh, cool. Link Between Worlds soundtrack is on Nintendo Music. Nice. Yes. Let's see. Are the Yankees still losing? I really hope they are. Yankees are still losing. It is 4-2 now. Jazz had an RBI triple, but it is top of the 9th. So let's hope Brian Baker, our old friend Brian Baker, can close out the game there for the Rays when it gets to the bottom of the 9th. That would be nice. I could use the fantasy points as well, because I have him. He's actually been a pretty decent closer for Tampa Bay. Has Brian Baker. Was traded last trade deadline, or a little bit before, actually. It was like a couple weeks before. Showing a replay of the Basayo line out. But yeah, Baker was traded at a little bit before the deadline last summer to Tampa Bay for a compensatory first-round pick late in the first round of the 2025, or it might have been 2020. Yeah, it's 2025 draft. Cano is up to pitch for the Orioles. There is strike 1 on a sinker. Maybe. Might have been a changeup. I don't know. But Blaze Alexander is in for Kobe Mayo as a defensive replacement. So Yenyer Cano with a lot of sideways action. He's been pitching a lot better this season than he did last season. That was a slider that was yanked out of there. So Cano was an all-star back in 2023. Has struggled a lot since. But this is probably his best season as Hao Yu Lee swings through that sinker for strike 2. But I think this is the best Cano's looked since 2023, in my opinion. And let's get that there. So Lee in a 1-2 hole will swing and a miss. Strike 3 on the sinker there. Cano strikes his pose. Actually, that might have been a splitter, not a sinker. Some kind of... Yeah, it was a splitter. A lot of sideways action on the splitter, but it was a splitter nonetheless. Gets Lee swinging there. Brings up Kevin McGonigal, who's 1 for 3. Led off this game with a home run, did Kevin McGonigal. Been a lot of action since. There is strike 1 on a pitch outside on a sinker there, but I'll take the strike. That was well outside. Surprised no challenge there from McGonigal. 0-1 to McGonigal. That one is even more outside. That was a splitter probably. That was nowhere close, not even caught by Adley. So 1-1. So O's up by 3. Cano looking to carry this into the 8th inning with that 3-run lead. 1-1-2 McGonigal is grounded over to Pete Alonso at first base. He's going to take it all the way for out number 2. Alonso, who has been definitive Gold Glover at first base this season, of all things, makes a good play there for a quick 2 outs, courtesy of Cano, who might even go to the 8th inning at this rate. Good work there from Pete. 7 pitches for Cano for 2 outs, brings up Dylan Dingler, who's 0 for 3 on the night, including a very strange ground out to Chris Bassett. That is a ball inside on a sinker. So 2 strikeouts and the very strange ground out for Dingler. Does have 9 home runs and a 1-0 count here against Cano. Takes strike 1 on a sinker just at the bottom of the zone. Really nice pitch there from Cano, who is looking to be on his game at the moment. Alonso has his jersey very dirty from a slide earlier in the game, showing him after his good play. This one is chopped foul on a splitter there from Cano, 1-2. Miguel Cairo, the Orioles bench coach, I believe, showing him for a moment. But they're talking a lot about Alonso, which makes sense. You know, his big name. That is a slider spiked for ball 2. Actually, it might not even be a slider. That might have been a sinker, maybe? It's a 91. It was, might have been a splitter then. That was just yanked in the ground. So Dingler in the 2-2 count at the moment. He's 0 for 3. Swing and a miss. He is 0 for 4. Cano strikes the pose. Good sinker there from Cano to get a couple strikeouts. 1-2-3, 7th for Yennier Cano. O's look to try and add on a bit more. Leody Taveras, Tyler O'Neill, and Blaze Alexander up to bat for the Orioles. They've exhausted most of their bench at this point. Weston Wilson's still there, and Jeremiah Jackson as well, I believe are the others on the bench. Yeah, Weston Wilson and Jeremiah Jackson. So that is, I doubt we see either of those guys come in. I mean, maybe you pinch hit one of them for Jackson Holiday, but I don't think so. I think you just roll with this for the rest of the time. So let's see. Out of town scoreboard. Twins still up 7-6 over the Red Sox. Rays still up 4-2 over the Yankees. Blue Jays up 3-2. The Pirates got one back. They're at bottom of the 8th. Nats and Braves still tied at 2. Brewers still up 5-0 over the Dodgers. Mariners up 2-0 over the Royals. And then the Rangers and Angels and then Rockies and Diamondbacks have both just started. Neither of them any score yet. All right, that's a good one. This is a good tweet from Orioles Twitter. Joe Paparoto says, honestly, I'd rather have Cowser face a lefty while blindfolded than pinch hit Tyler O'Neill to face a lefty in the 5th. Fair enough. Honestly, I don't think either of them are going to get a hit there, but yeah, that is, yeah. Barstool RDT, who's I think he's one of the Orioles beat writers, or like works a lot closely with the Orioles. He's manifesting the cancellation of the game early, calling it due to rain, so we can just have the O's win. So showing replays of the Holiday home run. That was still crazy. I don't know how that happened. I wonder what does he have? Oh, does he have the Gamecast on his laptop? That's funny. He's got the MLB Gamecast. The play-by-play announcer for Apple TV has the MLB Gamecast on his laptop. It's like that's what I'd be putting on here if it wasn't like 2 minutes ahead of the broadcast. That's funny. It's just like me for real, for real. So Leody Taveras up to bat here for the O's. Takes strike 1 from Kyle Finnegan. Batting lefty at the moment. Taveras a switch hitter. 2 for 3 on the night with a double and a single. 19 RBIs, just 2 home runs, 263 average, 758 OPS. 0-1 here to Tavares from Finnegan is in the dirt with a slider, I think. Yeah, that's one of his pitches, right? Yeah, slider. He's got 3, so I should know it's one of those 3, and it was the slider. So next pitch is well outside. That might have been a splitter that he lost control of for ball 2. Tavares in a favorable count at the moment. Let's get the box score up to date. So it's, it's no longer just the middle of the 7th. Tavares takes inside for ball 3 on a 4-seamer. 96, so a bit of extra juice there for Kyle Finnegan. Brennan Hanafy warming in the bullpen for Detroit, so they're burning a lot of their bullpen tonight in this game. There is ball 4 on a 4-seamer that is outside, so Tavares takes a 5-pitch walk. We'll bring up Tyler O'Neill. So bullpen still pretty deep. Manuel De Jesus, Drew Anderson, Tyler Holton, and Will Vest, and Kenley Jansen still in there, who are not warming as well. But, first game of the series, you don't usually want to burn this many guys in the bullpen, but after the poor start from Jack Flaherty, Tigers kind of have to. Strike 1 to Tyler O'Neill with a splitter, maybe a slider, but I think it was not a splitter. Yes, a splitter. I want to say that was a splitter. Maybe it was a slider. One of the two. Not the 4-seamer at the top of the zone for strike 1. Throw to first base, not in time for Leote, who does have a steal attempt in this game. But I think he had to be forced back due to foul ball. But O'Neill, who is 0 for 1 after a pinch hit, flew out to right field. Working against Finnegan. Steal attempt, and that one is fouled back behind home plate, so Leote unfortunately has to trot back to first base again. He's getting in his steps today is Leote. So O'Neill takes a rip at that fastball. It's 0-2. They're talking about Kenley Jansen at the moment as well, the Tigers closer, who is 3rd all-time in career saves. So he's surefire Hall of Famer, is Kenley Jansen. Massive career, mostly with the Dodgers, played a bit with the Red Sox as well, and has bounced around a good bit here and there ever since. O'Neill grounds this one back to Finnegan at pitching spot. That will be a double play. Good defensive work there by the Tigers on the 1-4-3, I think, double play. Pretty sure that's how you score it. Pitcher to second baseman to first baseman. That was a chopper right back to Kyle Finnegan. Fields it on the 1 hop. Throw to second is well in time. Throw to first is a little closer, but in time as well. So the no out walk is erased. Bases are empty. Brings up Blaze Alexander, who came in as a defensive substitution for Kobe Mayo, who went 1 for 3 with a couple strikeouts, but also with a nice hit as Alexander takes ball 1 on a fastball just below the zone. Hitting .235, does not have a home run yet, 6 RBIs, 578 OPS. Has been hitting it hard, just in usually not the right spots, but has been a good utility guy to fill in. Alexander knocks this one over into deep left field. That is off the wall, and that will be a double for Blaze Alexander, who gets in standing. A little close on the getting in there standing, but Alexander with a nice knock for a 2-route base runner here. Alexander, yeah, it's definitely going to have some box score spoilers tonight with how behind the broadcast is going to be, because I mean, even if I think I had Apple TV on, it still would have been a bit behind because of Xfinity, but my again, using sources just to say that real quick to not elaborate further. Definitely gonna be a bit behind. We got some shirtless kids over there in Baltimore. The shirtless trend has been kind of going all over the place in baseball. So going there, Holiday, who's 2 for 3, takes ball 1 on the splitter there outside the zone. Mr. Splash getting the few guys in the splash zone fired up as an extra base hit gets the hose running. 1-0 to Holiday in the 9 hole is knocked high in the air, and that is not going to get anywhere other than in foul territory and not be played. Looked like it hit off the net slightly, so Holiday just gets a strike there. Up to 3 concurrent viewers now. Let's go. Hey, if you're a concurrent viewer at the moment watching this stream right now, drop a comment in the chat. Say how are you doing. If you love the Orioles or the Tigers or anything else, or if you're just trying to watch the stream because you don't have Apple TV Plus. Love some comments. Love that you're commenting, Kevin. Been very fun to talk to you over these past couple weeks. Been really enjoying it. The 1-1 to Holiday. Blaze Alexander at second. 2 outs here. Holiday takes well high on a fastball. Yes, this is a long one. Already almost 3 hours at this point. Which I'm not even like realizing. It's only the bottom of the 7th. So yeah, this started a little bit after 7 o'clock. It's already 9:50. Jeez. I didn't realize it was this late, actually. Wow. Yeah. So Holiday takes it down low for ball 3. That was just spiked in the dirt, and the box score is spoiling me again. Sometimes it doesn't like to update. Sometimes it does. Methinks this is going to be a walk. If I had to predict here, methinks this is going to be a walk. So yeah, 3-1 to Holiday from Kyle Finnegan on his 21st pitch. It will be eventually inside for ball 4 with a fastball. So that is walk for Jackson Holiday, his 3rd time reaching base tonight. We'll flip the order around to Taylor Ward, who is 1 for 4 with a single and 2 strikeouts. Ward, who has been one of the better Orioles at reaching base, though maybe not at collecting hits. Again, his on-base percentage is higher than his slugging percentage, which is not all that common, to say the least. That's more of like a Chandler Simpson type of stat line. Ward takes strike 1 on a good fastball there. But I don't think the Orioles were expecting to get Chandler Simpson 2.0 with Taylor Ward when they traded for him. They were expecting more, the 36 homers that they traded when they traded for him. But, I mean, he'll take the getting on base, but would like Ward to swing the bat a bit more. It takes strike 2. That is just clipping the zone. So after a lot of pitches that were nowhere close, just like a strike by the slimmest of margins puts Ward in a quick 0-2 hole there. So Kyle Finnegan is focused back here with a couple really nice fastballs against Taylor Ward, who's going to have to swing the bat here in a sec. Doesn't have to there, though. Takes ball 1 on a slider in the dirt. So Ward has been always patient this season. Takes the pitch well there. And it's just a couple really tough fastballs against him so far in this at-bat. But would like to see him get a little knock here. And the 1-2 hole at the moment. Next pitch from Finnegan is low. Check swing. Does he go around? No, just barely. Not by much, but just barely. He holds up. So he's 2-2 count now. Yeah, hit 36 home runs last year. Only 2 so far this season. So not much power to show for it. Again, he did get hit in the hand a couple weeks ago, and I think that's part of it. He will pop this one up in the air. That will be an infield fly. First baseman Torkelson will get Taylor Ward out. So the O's strand a pair. And we go to the top of the 8th. But hey, I mean, you like that. You love Jackson Holiday reaching base 3 times tonight. That is awesome. I love the Blaze Alexander double as well. So it's just, sometimes can't get him in. But still 7 runs to the O's. They have a 3-run lead. Let's hope the bullpen won't blow it. Let's see. If I scroll down here, does not say if Yennier Cano is going to be taken out. So we might just see Yennier Cano again in the 8th and maybe Anthony Nunez in the 9th. Cano did not throw a ton of pitches, so maybe that is it. Who knows? So let's see. Oh, let's see. Did the Yankees lose? Please tell me the Yankees lost. Are they still playing? I would really love it if the Yankees lost. Still going. Bottom of the 9th, 1 out, runner on first. I'm going to quickly commentate that. So Trent Grisham up against Brian Baker. Who's on? Austin Wells is on first base. 2-1 count now after a strike looking that was outside, according to the ESPN box. Grisham 3 for 4 on the night. Wow. So Grisham and then Judge for the Yankees there. Let's hope our old friend Brian Baker can shut down the Yankees. Next pitch will eventually be, yeah. Grayson on the his start. Grisham grounds out to shortstop. Wells gets to second base. The Yankees are down to Aaron Judge, who can tie it with a homer there. Austin Wells at second. But yeah, Grayson Rodriguez makes his return from the injured list. First start against the LA Dodgers, so I do not envy that. It's not a good start, to say the least. Gave up, I think, like 6 runs or something. Like, he gave up a lot of runs, to say the least. He's got like a 31 ERA or like a 37 ERA. I'm not going to root against Grayson Rodriguez. I always liked him. So it's unfortunate that we don't get to see him in an Orioles uniform anymore, but he does have those. I mean, it's also the first time he's pitched in like 2 years. So definitely shaking the rust off there, and having to go up against the Dodgers certainly doesn't help, but he did have one of those throwing meatballs type of games. Judge is in a 1-1 count at the moment. Swung through a changeup there for strike 1. He's 0 for 3 with a walk and a strikeout. Ben Rice is on deck there for the Yankees. Austin Wells at second, so Judge is the tying run, playing over in Yankee Stadium. Yeah, it would be cool to see Grayson turn around. Judge will fly out to the warning track. That will do it. Yankees lose. Let's go. And that is Tyler Wells on to pitch. Throws a curveball. Looked like an eephus pitch almost with the delivery. But it was a curveball. Tyler Wells on to pitch against Cole Keith. So let's switch over to big old Tyler Wells. Next pitch is swung on a miss. Strike 1. Curveball was a little high. That was a changeup from the looks of it. Yeah, there we go. So Wells, 17 games pitched, 0-1 record, 3.22 or ERA, 21 strikeouts to 6 walks, and some other stats here and there. There's a putter that is just high for ball 2. Yeah, I mean, I feel like Grayson was good, but he was just so injured all the time as Wells knocks that one behind home plate for foul ball, strike 2. And like, obviously he was like, it was what, he didn't have a great start against Texas in the divisional round, but like he was fun to watch, and it was definitely hope for a bit more, but he just like, and it wasn't even like, just a Tommy John surgery that knocked him out for a while. It was like everything for some reason. Keith knocks that one foul again. But yeah, it's O's and trying to develop pitching. It's like, look at John Means. I mean, he was supposed to be another one of the pitchers of the future, and he couldn't stay healthy either. So it's they had Jim Palmer and been cursed ever since, feels like. and Moose, I guess, Mike Mussina. That's a cutter that's a little high for ball 3. So 3-2 count here for Cole Keith, who's 0 for 2 on the night after pinch hitting. Just a little high. Hadley frames it well, but not well enough. So full count here for Keith. That one is knocked foul on either a fastball or another cutter. I think that one was just a fastball. So that's at 92. Yeah, that was just a 4-seamer. So yeah, my guess is it's going to be Tyler Wells and then Anthony Nunez to get it done. There's a strikeout there. Nice pitch on, looked like a changeup there for Wells. Gets Keith there to start the inning. Yeah, definitely a changeup. Not a pitch he throws a lot to righties. Oh, yeah, Keith's a lefty, that's why. Yeah, throws the changeup a good bit to lefties. Gets him swinging. Just breaks away from Keith. And good pitch there for Wells for out number 1 here in the 8th inning. There's pitch just inside on a fastball for ball 1. Riley Green, 1 for 3 on the night. Singled and then was driven in. So he is one of the 4 run scorers for Detroit tonight. There is a fastball below the zone. Actually, changeup maybe that was yanked below the zone. I would love this to kickstart a long winning streak for the Orioles, Kevin. That would be so good to see, though. Unfortunately, the O's are playing the Rays after this, and would love them to take a series there, though. And then they're playing the Blue Jays after that, who are not as good, so I would like that. Green will knock this one high into the air, deep center field, but that will stay in the park at the warning track. Green got well under that, but gave it a good rip at it on the 2-0 count. So that is out number 2 on the deep fly out for Riley Green. I had him on my fantasy. I had him on my fantasy team last year. He was very good last year. He's still been playing pretty well this year, though. 1 for 4 tonight. And yeah, they're showing the starting pitchers for Detroit. Tarek Skubal, 46 and 23. Everyone else was like 146 and 147 or something. Like, it's outside of Tarek Skubal, the starting pitching front has not been great for Detroit. There's strike one on a curveball, I think, actually, for Wells against Spencer Torkelson, former top prospect for them. 1 for 3 with a double and a run scored for Spencer. Wells, the next pitch, another curveball grounded over to short. Gunnar Henderson fields it cleanly. Thrower to first base is in time for the 1-2-3. 8th inning, courtesy of Tyler Wells. Love that right there. So a couple, actually, I guess there's sliders, not curveballs, but yeah, a couple sliders to courtesy of Wells gets Torkelson out. And that is it for the top of the 8th. O's with potentially their last at-bats of the night. Would like these to be the last at-bats of the night, because that would mean they would close it out. And I would see a win for the first time in a couple weeks here on stream. It's been a couple losses in a row. I think I'm 3-5 now. Either 3-5 or 3-6, I think. But I think I'm 3-5. Would love a win back here. But it should be... Who is up to bat, actually? I don't even remember. Is it... I think it's oh yeah, it was Holiday. He got on, and then Ward popped out, I think. So yeah, it's Henderson, Rutschman, and Alonso. That's who it is. Yeah, because Ward had his 5th at bat. So yeah, Henderson, who is 2 for 4 with a couple of runs scored and a strikeout. Rutschman is 2 for 4 as well. So he has not been able to get home yet. Alonso 1 for 2 with a home run and an intentional walk as well, and just a just a regular walk. So yeah, that is. Is that Lukagen? No, it's not Lukagen. Anyway, yeah, that would be cool if Henderson hit a homer here. Yeah, I would love another homer just to really make this game, put a capper on this game. Give it a little. I mean, the 3 runs is always nice. 3-run lead is always good, but I'd love 4. That'd be nice as well. Yeah, the Yankees lose, which is always good. Aaron Judge's usual high leverage fly out. Sad. I always love clowning the fact that Aaron Judge, or making fun of the fact that Aaron Judge always seems to be hit very poorly in high leverage situations. It's always very fun to make fun of. The only thing I got at this point with how bad the Orioles are. Henderson grounds the first pitch foul over by his first base coach, Bourgeois. I forget his first name, but I think his last name is Bourgeois. But it is Emmanuel De Jesus is the new pitcher for Tigers. 2-0 record, 6.20 ERA though. 20 strikeouts, 11 walks. Let's pull up his Savant page. It's Emmanuel, so it's not Emmanuel, it's ENM instead of EMM. Emmanuel De Jesus. That's a good name. Not a good Savant page, though. That's for sure. A lot of blue there. 4-seamer, changeup, cutter, sinker, and slider. That is knocked over into center field and down for a base hit for Gunnar Henderson, his 3rd hit of the night. It's not quite the homer, but another sharp single there to center field. Love that for Gunnar, though. A couple games over this past week where he's had multiple hits in the game. That might have just been a fastball, a 4-seamer there. Knocked straight back up center field. if he wanted to, Wenceel Perez could have been a little bit more aggressive and try and dive for it, but no real need to. Just hold him up for the single. Brings up Adley Rutschman. That was lefty on lefty single as well for Gunnar. Rutschman swings through a fastball there for strike one. So really love that for Gunnar, getting a hit off a lefty. That's been something that he has struggled with a lot in his career. But love that for Gunnar. There's a changeup there for De Jesus that Rutschman swings through for strike two. So a couple swinging strikes for Adley in this at-bat against the fastball and the changeup. But double and a single for Adley tonight, so not quite in line for the cycle, but halfway there. No chance he's going to get unless this game somehow goes to extras, which I really hope does not happen. It's already late enough. This one is inside with a fastball for ball one. But yeah, I mean, if Holiday starts hitting, which he has already in this game, Henderson starts hitting more reliably, Rutschman starts hitting more reliably, Alonso keeps doing what he does. Can see some change around Kobe Mayo if he can still doing what he's doing. Yeah, exactly. Henderson, he was swinging a lot of stuff outside the zone as Adley knocks this one foul off the net. But yeah, Henderson was swinging at a lot of stuff outside the zone earlier on this season. He was striking out a lot on that as well. So he can limit that, which he's starting to do, I think. We'll see the old Gunner again. So 1-2 to Adley here in the bottom of the eighth. Adley will knock this one high out into center field, deep, but not quite deep enough. Wenceel Perez has plenty of room, so he gets Adley out on the deep flyout. Henderson does not advance. So it is a simple out number one. Brings up the home run hitter, Pete Alonso, one of two homers on the night for the O's. Yeah, Gunnar, who is the young superstar for the Orioles. The young superstar. If he can finally find his bat again, O's could do something. Don't know what, but it could be something. But this past week for Gunnar has been a lot better. Arguably one of his best weeks. All things considered. Despite the fact the Orioles as a whole have not been playing well at all. Gunnar Henderson's week has been better. Alonso swings through a changeup there for strike one. Below the zone, but Alonso was looking at it all the way for a swing. So he's got a sac fly, 3-run home run, intentional walk as well. So 4 RBIs for Pete on the night. Could potentially add some here as well. Takes high on a fastball for ball one. Game is almost over. Definitely one of the longer ones. And it's not even like there was any major delays either. It's just been a lot of offense early. And it just kind of a little bit of a slog here and there. Alonso swings through a fastball there for strike two. A little late on that one. Alonso finds himself in a 2-strike count as per usual, it feels like. Takes his time. Rain is still raining there. Rain has not let up, but it's not, again, hasn't really, I mean, the dirt is definitely a bit more, it's a lot soggier now than it was a couple innings ago, but it's still not too bad. They're definitely not going to call it at this rate because I think it's supposed to stay pretty steady. As Alonso knocks one over into right field. That is caught on the line by I said Kool-Aid McKinstry. That is a very different McKinstry. Zach McKinstry caught it. Henderson gets to second on the delayed reaction on the tag. That was weird. But a good diving catch there by Zach McKinstry for out number 2 on the liner there by Pete Alonso. Henderson at least gets a second, but good play there defensively by Zach McKinstry. Yeah. But yeah, yeah, it's definitely long because, yeah, it's a 7-4 game. But, I mean, it's been a couple homers, just a couple long innings. Obviously, the Orioles have left a lot of guys on base, too. So that's, makes sense why. But Henderson able to get there eventually to second base, brings up Samuel Basallo looking for his first hit of the night. Swings through a slider there, I think, for strike one. It was weird. Henderson, he hung up a little bit after trying to tag, and was lucky it didn't get tagged out there. That was, I think that was a slider there from De Jesus as Basayo fouls off a fastball there for strike 2. Yeah, I think that's a slider. But I'll take long games if the O's win. And right now the O's are winning, so I will take that. I think the umpire got clipped a little bit by that foul ball, I think. Or maybe some dirt got in his eye. I think that's what it was. So he'd take a brief break there. Yeah, that foul ball rattle around everyone. Basayo 0-2 count at the moment. Not one of the few Orioles that has not had a good day at the plate. Takes, ooh, good voice crack right there. And takes ball 1. Yeah, I mean, it's, hey, with the 2 hits and runners in scoring position, they're home runs, so you'll take that. But yeah, it's, you definitely like the risk hits to be a bit more. Basayo takes ball 2. And it looks like that might have been a cutter, actually. Yeah, that was a cutter there. Outside. So Basayo's worked himself back into a decent count here. Gunner on second, 2 outs here, bottom of the 8th. Getting close to the end. And Basayo's going to take his time here real quick. So 15 pitches for Emmanuel De Jesus. It's not giving up a run yet. Would like an 8th run here for the O's. That would be nice. 2-2 for Basayo. He will check swing. Does he go around? Yes. Strikeout on the fastball inside for out number 3. Basayo tried to hold his swing, but not quite enough in the end. Yeah, I'm okay with it if it's as long as the O's get the win. I don't really care how. But that was definitely a swing by Basayo he couldn't hold up. Not his night, unfortunately, but as long as the O's win, I don't really care. And they're up by 3. Should be Anthony Nunez, I would assume at least, to try and close this game out. Will be should be Wensiel Perez, Zach McKinstry, and Gage Workman up to bat for the Tigers, who are collectively 2 for 9 from the looks of it. No walks issued by the Orioles pitching staff through 8 innings, which is actually very surprising. Let's hope that continues. 10 strikeouts as well. Both teams have struck out 10 times, actually. So let's see if I scroll down here. Should be, yep, Anthony Nunez is going to be on to pitch for the Orioles. Not surprising. I think he's closed 1 other game so far this season, if I remember correctly. So he was he's not Munetaka Murakami. That is not his profile picture. Yeah, there was sweeper, 4-seamer, changeup, sinker, and cutter. 2 saves, actually, so not 1, 2. I forget if he was Cedric Mullins or one of the others, but Van Nunez was the really, really grainy picture of him. He was part of the package that the O's got for Cedric Mullins from the Mets back in last year's trade deadline. So it was Nunez, Ramon Gomez, and Chandler Marsh. Nunez, I think, was a former infielder, then got converted to pitcher, if I remember correctly. But he is very well worth the trade, considering how bad Mullins played for the Mets. You'll certainly take a pretty high leverage reliever there. Yeah, Kevin, there's a reason why these teams are well below 500. These teams cannot hit with runners in scoring position. I think the Tigers were the worst team at hitting with runners in scoring position coming into this game. They even did have a couple of hits with runners in scoring position, and they had 2 hits tonight, which is better than what they usually do. But I'll take it. Luckily the O's have minimized damage so far. I mean, it's really just the solo shot and then the 1 bad inning from Bassett. Otherwise, it's been good, as this one is popped up by Wensiel Perez and out of play. Foul. So 2 for 4 on save opportunities, which is not great to see. That he's blown 2 of them. 5.16 ERA was really good early on, but I'd say he's more been up and down. He's had some really good starts, some not good starts. Definitely does tend to give up runs on occasion. That one is bounced foul as well. So quick 0-2 hole for Wensiel Perez, who doubled last time he was up. I believe. All right, I know his one hit was a double. Might not have been his last time he was up, but yeah, he was definitely here. He had a double, and I think he got around. Or did he score? No, he didn't. For some reason, I thought he did score. But I guess they must have stranded him then. The 0-2 swung on a miss. Strike 3. So that is 1 down, 2 to go. I'm not even sure what pitch that was. That was as 88 miles per hour. So that was a changeup from the looks of it. Above the zone, but Perez goes swinging. Yeah, definitely a changeup. Apparently, the guys in the Alpha TV broadcast are like, they don't even know what pitch that is. might have been a sweeper, might have been a changeup. Off speed, that's for sure, but it got the strikeout. So that's all it takes. Strike 1 on the fastball to Zach McKinstry, not Kool-Aid McKinstry, the cornerback for the New Orleans Saints. That I almost said when he made the diving catch in the bottom of the 8th. But McKinstry is 0 for 3. Takes ball 1 on a curveball in the dirt, or maybe a slider. Yes, or maybe a sweeper. That looked like a curveball, but it doesn't say that Nunez throws a curveball. I don't know. Some kind of breaking ball in the dirt. 1-1-2. McKinstry swung on a miss on another breaking ball in the dirt for strike 2. Nice pitch there. That was, again, it looks more like a curveball or a slider rather than a sweeper, because I feel like sweeper is supposed to have horizontal movement. I don't know. I'll take it. This one is chopped foul on another one of those slider curveball thingamajigs. That might have, maybe it was a changeup. I don't know. It was at 87, so it's got a lot of velocity to it. Whatever that pitch is, it's working for the moment. I'll take it. So nobody on here. Orioles up 3, 2 outs to go in the game. Nunez in the 1-2 count at the moment. That one is a fastball high, taken for ball 2. Let's see. Box score, can you update? There we go. Thank you, box score. Yeah, let's go with the screwball. The middle finger pitch. Gives him the middle finger. There's a fastball fouled back for to stay alive. You can't hit this type of pitch. the John Cena pitch. Let's go with that. You can't see this. Some kind of breaking ball. I don't know. Maybe the rain-affected screwball. I don't know. 2-2 count here for McKinstry, though. There's another one of those. McKinstry does not go around, so it's a full count now. That might have actually been a changeup. I think that had a bit more life to it. So he does throw the changeup a lot to lefties. So these might honestly all just be changeups that he's like just getting a ton of movement on. But I don't know. So 3-2 is knocked foul again. So a good battle between McKinstry and Nunez. It's like luckily no one's on, so it's not the, you're not in danger of giving up a big game-tying home run, but still would like to get him out here, showing that Tigers are on a 6-game losing streak. So let's hope that continues. Let's hope it makes 7, but we got to get through 2 outs here. This one is knocked over into deep left field. Ward with plenty of room, though, with that ranging left field. I think even with the old wall, that would have been a deep fly out. So that is out number 2. Orioles 1 out away from getting the win here. So Tigers down to their last out after the Orioles did go through a lot of their bullpen in this one. Chris Bassett with an okay start. Got taken out after only like 53, 54 pitches. I was a little surprised about that, but Albernaz, I don't know, maybe he's playing for the potential delay or like getting called after 7 innings. I don't know. There's strike 1 on some kind of breaking ball there from Gage Workman, who's 1 for 3 with a double. But I don't know. It's early bullpen action for the Orioles outside of the opener, but it's been working so far. The bullpen has been lights out. There's a fastball taken for ball 1. The bullpen has been keeping this lead safe at the moment. Workman cannot win it or even tie it up for the Tigers here. Takes strike 2 on a fastball right in the middle of the zone. So 2 outs, 2 strikes. It kind of has been the Orioles' kryptonite this season, but Nunez is a strike away from his 3rd save and an Orioles win. The 22nd on the season potentially. The 1-2 to Workman is in the dirt, not swung at all, so it is ball 2 on the breaking ball changeup, whatever you want to call it. The screwball. Let's go with that. as you said, Kevin. That was the screwball. The few fans in attendance are doing the O's chant, getting hyped in their ponchos. So 2-2 for Nunez, working against Workman. Is swung and a miss. Strike 3 on that screwball. There it is. Orioles finally get the win back. They start out this homestand with a win against Detroit. We get our first win together, Kevin, because I believe this is our third game together, and the other two were losses. There we go. O's win 7-4 over the Tigers. Pete Alonso with a 3-run home run. Jackson Holliday with a 2-run home run in his 4th game back of the season. Orioles bullpen goes 3 2/3 shutout. 3 2/3 shutout after Bassett. And really, it was after that 3rd inning. Or I guess after the 4th inning, never mind. It was 5th inning onwards. O's pitched a shutout. Give up 7 hits. O's with 14 hits, 7 runs. Again, you would like maybe a bit more in terms of running scoring position, but I will not complain about a win. O's looking to climb back in the standings. Very nice win indeed. That's going to do it. There we go. Love it. Finally a win. It's been too long, both on stream and just in general. So O's advance to 22 and 29. Tigers fall to 20 and 32 off of a couple opposite field homers, courtesy of Alonso and Holliday. And Alonso also had a sac fly to make it that other RBI. So yeah, that will do it for this stream. The usual schedule for next week, stream-wise, Final Fantasy VII. I'm on to Chapter 8 now, so we're actual combat with Aerith for the first time, since we landed in her church. Check and also see who the Orioles play next Friday. I think it's the Blue Jays. Yes. Next Friday, 7:05, Orioles, Blue Jays at home. So it's going to be 3 games against Tigers, 3 games against the Rays, and then 4 games against the Blue Jays, all at home, to wrap up the month of May. Then they go at the Red Sox after that. So 2 weeks from now, actually going to be 2 Blue Jays games in a row for me on next 2 Fridays. Then the Padres after that. So that's what's coming up there. For now, though, that is it. Thank you all very much for watching. Feel free to like, comment, and subscribe, because I always got to plug that in, because I think it does help with analytics. Thank you very much, Kevin. Have a good night.